As I show and tell, y'all watching like I'm Rockwell and I'm sipping on Cran and Bell, not banging, but all is well. I'm rolling all white beans, speed toner, about 110, top down face in the wind. These 21 kids spin, that's right. I'm driving drunk and I don't give a fuck. My bowling style is wild, my niggas, my niggas smoking out and screaming. Wow, wow, wow. We gang bang on these beats, we gang bang on these streets. We holding down this thing in the club. We bang, bang, bang. Big ballers, thugs and G-shot callers, crooks and thieves with my niggas. I will bleed with my niggas. I smoke weed, we gon' bang and get high until we die.
Shit, Delta 88, that's Geo's whip. Y'all cats can't fuck with Geo's lit. Y'all cats who never fuck Geo's bitch. AOC, the told you before the shots when they motherfucking every ready to blow. Got hoes that know they got to blow. If they know it's cold, then they got to go. Here we go, yes, drinking some more. This nigga hating on my right, let me put on the shoulders. If it step up, he gon' get put on the floor. His mouth gon' be red like a bottle of mo. Oh no, I mean that bottle was a liquor, keep a nigga sick in the wobbling days. It was like walking through a wobbling maze. A nigga going through a lab, bitch gobbling things. It's Gio again, left the club with a broad and I'm hitting the friends. Got her legs in the air, holding the shins. Booty fat like banana seeds, sitting on swing. Ends, bins, money, hoe, drove, dough, clothes, shows, blows, pose, hand and mo. Hate a jealous nigga, rather friend than foe.
I'm in the bang, bang, bang. Smoking trees, sipping Hennessy, feeling free. It ain't VIP unless it's home to me. Mac love, Mac money from the 1, 2, 3. Stacking 20 tall at the 20 sprawl. Step in the club, leave about 20 bras. A Henny, y'all got a flag on in the head. Thick chick, let me doggy style ball in the bed. It's a wild, wild thing when I bang a bang. Y'all marked on my name, #1 in the game. Check it out, roll limo. Flow platinum demo, sip Hino. Fuck raps, that's the N.O. For your info, yep, I'm a G like that. Player hating cats can't be like Mac. I'm a bank on the 1 and the 2. Hop in the Chevy, chrome down, baby blue with the Gators, magic too, bling bling, all new. Step in the club, it's all love, it's all cool. I spent it, I rollin' Stokey and business, set trends, make chick lick my inches, lick a quinches, max spend no expenses. I'm about to bang on these bitches.
Now you haters, it's all over.
Getting bang, bang,
Getting funky.
Getting funky now.
Getting funky now. Getting funky all night. Get down.
Getting funky.
Y'all looking for me?
Getting funky
Y'all looking for me? Well, here I is.
Getting funky now. Getting funky.
Yes, indeed.
Getting down.
What it do? What it do?
Funky now.
That right there is the Wild Wild Thugs. What's up? What it do? What it do? I'm glad to be off up in here one more again in the house of rehab. Ha, shut up, Osha. Hey, yeah. Yes, that song y'all just heard, that song is actually about 20 to 21 years old. Yes, indeed. That's back when your boy was rapping. Shout out to Wild Wild Records, baby. We was the first hood label. We shot the first video in the hundreds. We made history. We was hood stars, ghetto hood stars, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to my brother Geo, Mac Love, my man Law Dog, and my cousin and my brother from another mother. Well, from my sister, my mama's sister. My cousin Tuck. Yeah, buddy. Hey, look, that was some way back when shit right there. And it was all good. He said one more game. You know what, I can play it at the end. He said he thought that shit was new. No, easy. That shit on the real. That's 20 years old. That was our second album. That was our second album that we dropped in the hood. Yeah, buddy. All right, so let's get ready to do what we came here to do, and we're gonna talk about us some Breonna Taylor just a little bit. I think it's time for Reggie to play into Breonna Taylor a little bit. Shall I get her? Shall I get her? Y'all don't know what that's from. I know somebody got to know what that's from. Shall I get her? Boy, I tell you. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay. Oh, man. See, you know what? I was having a good time. I was getting them all in. Thank you, my brother Easy E got it. I was getting them all in. Then I look in the chat and I see what the fuck is up with Chimp Master. Let me tell y'all something. I'm telling all y'all motherfucking trolls tonight, I ain't for the bullshit. Now, if we gonna have a conversation, thank you. Hey, I'm telling you right now, we gonna have a conversation. We have a conversation. If you come here to just troll, I'm gonna tell you right now, you just get the fuck out. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't dealing with it on tonight. I want to have a great show. It's been a busy week for you, boy, and man, I just want to do what we do. All right, yes, indeed. So, what I want to really go over, because everybody's talking about this, but y'all ain't heard this shit from me yet. But everybody's talking about Breonna Taylor, and I guess the first and foremost, the thing is this for me. I'm sad that she died, but I understand why she's dead. I'm telling you right now. And to anybody that is, I guess, on the side of, you know, she was murdered, she was in her bed, sleep, and all that stuff, we're going to get into all the facts and all that stuff later. But my thing is this. Everybody, especially us black folk that's from the hood, we all know of, still know, may have known at one point in time, the people that was in the game. And that's my biggest thing about this. There is nothing unusual about this whole incident for me because of where I'm from and the neighborhood I grew up in. This is what you call just collateral damage. This is what happens when you bout that life. Plain and simple. This is just what it is. Everything that has come about and has happened in this whole situation, it is not anything that's, oh, I just can't believe that they would do. No, this was all a course of events that was set in place based on the lifestyle that Breonna Taylor led. And I don't understand why people are so shocked about this and how this has just opened the eyes of America. Now all of a sudden, like, we didn't know that this kind of shit happens. Like, y'all remember a long time ago when they did the Pimps Up, Hoes Down with Don Juan and all of them was on there, and Don Juan was standing there. I think he was in like a barbershop or something, but he was talking. He was like, yeah, y'all see the rings and the gold and the hoes and all of that stuff and the fame and all that. And he said something that was so, it was so true. It was just like, man, he dropping facts. He was like, y'all see all this? Yeah, I got the cars and all this, but let me tell y'all something. The penitentiary come along with all of this here, man. And he told them flat out, y'all can see all this. I got the rings, the watches, I got the hoes, I got the cars, the clothes. I'm fresh to death, but the penitentiary comes along with all of this. And that's the same thing with the drug game. Except it ain't just the penitentiary, it's the motherfucking grave. That's just what it is. The casket comes with all of that too. And everybody who has been in this type of environment or know anything about the streets, you know when you are in them streets, you got the penitentiary and you got death. Plain and simple. That's it. That's what come along with all the fast money, all the power moves you making. You making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day, a week. Whether you are on the corner hustling rocks or you the plug. Either way, through all of that, you got niggas trying to kill you. You got the police that may kill you. And you got people that are trying to put you in jail. They'll snitch on you. They'll get a case on you. They get evidence. That's just what it is. Right. Easy said she was in the field. She was. So it's like, I don't understand why this is like really such a big, huge thing. It's like, in that case, when we talk about the people that die, whether it's by the police hands, whether it's by the streets, whatever the case may be, if you in that game, if you bowdy, you bout that life, that's what happens. Sometimes you can get out, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the penitentiary catch you, sometimes the Reaper coming. Come on with me, player. Your time is up. Just like Kane said in Minister Society. He was like, I did too much. What did he say? I think he said, I had done so much to where I couldn't go back and did too much to where I could go on. It's like, that's just what it is. All of that shit, it comes up and you gotta at some point in time pay the piper. The bill collector. Them calling me Mr. Bill Collector, needing me money always up tonight. That's what happens. That Reaper showed up like, hey, bill collector's here. Check my screen chat. Thank you so much. Let me see if I got my chat together. Yep, I don't know why this shit is doing that. Yeah, this shit is late like a motherfucker, ain't it? Hold on. Hold up. All right, let's see if that. Nope, that's old too. Why is it doing that? Oh, you know what? It may be an update for the chat. All right, well, we'll try to see if I can do it this way and see what happens. I'm going to try one thing. This one thing that was made for this chat won't stay in this chat. It's fucking up this chat. Let's see if it'll work if I do that. There we go. I hope that's it. I hope that's it. We'll see if that works. I don't know, but it looks like that could be an issue. I don't know. I'm gonna see if that fixes it though. Damn it. All right, but one of the things that I definitely wanted to start out with was just some of the things that people were just lying about. What up, Huggy? And shout out to hey, you know what? I got it. Hold on, before I get started, we got to do two things. Let me go ahead and play my favorite part of my show before I fuck up. There we go.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Shout out to Kelly Brown Eyes for donating. Shout out to April Jones. Who? April Jones for donating. And my man Troy Sherman. April Jones hit your boy with $5. Troy Sherman hit your boy off with $1. And Kelly Brown Eyes hit your boy off with $2.50. Oh, that was actually the other day. That was Thursday. Appreciate you. That's what's up. All right. So, one of the things that I wanted to get out of the way is the biggest thing that I've seen, and like everybody just keeps perpetuating this. They keep saying it and they keep saying it, and we all see that it's not fucking true. She was not, at this time when she got shot, she was not an EMT. Can the church say amen to that? She was not an EMT. The fact that they're trying to paint this picture of her being a first responder and she's out here doing COVID, trying to save people's lives and just got shot up by the police, that is not true. She ain't an EMT. Stop saying it. Here's the thing, and in all fairness, she did not get fired. She resigned, but she resigned because there was some fuck shit going on that she was in the middle of. And that thing was this. And I don't know how this just happens, but she rented a car, I guess, for her old nigga, Jamarcus Glover, who was the plug. She rented a car for this nigga and winds up a dead body just in the trunk. Who do y'all know that done happen to? That ain't in them streets and ain't about their life. Who rents a car for their homie, for their cousin, for their auntie, for their uncle, or whatever the case may be, and not that the car don't get turned in on time. Not the car. The car didn't get returned with no gas. The car wasn't in an accident or had a scratch on it that wasn't checked off from the check-in. This motherfucker had a dead body in the trunk. Now, I'm not saying or trying to imply that Breonna Taylor killed this nigga. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am going to say is when you fucking around with people that put bodies in trunks, you in the game. You in the game. You are fucking around with them boys. We them boys. Hold up. I mean, that's just what it is. It ain't about, is she the trigger woman? It ain't about, did she kill him? No, it just, well, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up, because it points to the life that she was living. Fuck that EMT bullshit. She wasn't getting no checks from the EMT. She resigned because of the fuck shit that was going on with a dead body being in the car. Okay? That lets you know what it is. Now, when you move into what had happened at the house, well, what happened at the house? You had police officers who bust up in the motherfucker like the upper room when Jesus comes. They bust up in the motherfucker, not because they didn't have shit to do, not because they was just driving around and like how you used to play ding dong ditch, where you just run up to a random house and ring the doorbell. They say, hey, let's just do a raid on the house. No, they actually came up on this crib and they were not only executing a warrant on this house, but they were executing several warrants. I believe it was on 2 other houses, or at least one other house, which was the actual trap house. So it ain't like they were just riding around. They just picked the house and ran up in the motherfucker and that was it. And here's my thing with that. Had the police, which has happened a few times, and I think I even did a video on one time where it did happen, where the police had the wrong motherfucking address, but had the right warrant. They had a warrant, but they showed up at the wrong address and busted up in the motherfucking house. Had that happened and she died, don't give her $12 million, give her $24 million. Give her double for her trouble. Plain and simple. It wouldn't have been I wouldn't have one thing to say about it if this was we had the wrong address and busted up in there. That would have been, hey man, that's what happens. I see what it is. I see why they came up in that motherfucker. I see exactly why they did what they did. I would have understood it 1,000%. Yep, it is an update for this. I'm gonna try to do this shit and hope I don't fuck it up. But we gonna see. Let's have some fun. But that would have been, all right, it's saying it has been updated. That would have been, hey, I get it. And yes, the police done fucked up. And yes, they need to pay. I totally understand. 5,000%. Go ahead with your bad ass. Get your money. But That didn't happen. And a lot of people don't understand this. It ain't easy getting a warrant. It's just not. It's not easy to get a warrant. You just don't go as a police officer, and any police officers who can attest to this, you ain't just sitting at the police station and like, man, let's do a warrant at whatchamacallit them crib. All right. And I go on my drawer, pull out a warrant, write the names on there, and then I fold the shit up like motherfucking Lonzo did in Training Day and show the fuck up with a goddamn Chinese food restaurant talking about, yeah, here go my warrant. You don't get a warrant like that. Warrants aren't easy to come by. It ain't a thing the way you just, yeah, I need a warrant. Oh, you need a warrant for where? Okay, go ahead. No. You have to have be way more than just probable cause to get a warrant. You got to have some substantiating sufficient evidence for a motherfucker to bust up in your crib. Why? Because they are violating your constitutional rights when they do that. And the only way that they can do that, they have to have a tremendous amount of information and just flat out, hey, look, here's the motherfucker with the drugs. Here's the motherfucker buying the drugs. Here's the motherfucker at the trap house. Here's the motherfucker coming from the trap house into her house. This is the same motherfucker that's coming over here 4 times a week. We got the pictures here that shows this motherfucker coming in and leaving like in 20 to 30 minute intervals. Oh, okay. And all of this information is being presented to a judge who is sitting there saying, you want this warrant? Prove it. You have to literally prove your case. And sometimes it can take anywhere between 10 minutes to a fucking hour, depending on the judge, because he asking all the right questions. How often, and just think about this, how often have you heard of a warrant being executed where there shouldn't have been a warrant, where they didn't have enough information to execute a warrant? I'll wait. When was the last time you heard of, well, they never should have issued a warrant for this person. This person here they didn't have enough evidence to do this, or they didn't have enough evidence to do that. When was the last time you heard that? You haven't, because you don't. That shit don't go down like that. When there is a motherfucking warrant to be had, there is an unsurmountable amount of evidence to say, okay, based on the information that I have by these officers, the sworn testimony and the evidence, the physical evidence, the pictures, video surveillance, if I got a CI, all that, a CI is criminal informant for those who don't know. Whatever it is I have, there is enough evidence for me to go and say, go knock on the door, break down the door, run up in the motherfucker, and get all of the evidence you can. That's exactly what that means. So you don't just pop up and get a warrant. The other part, too, that everybody's talking about is the knock or no knock. A no-knock warrant means, essentially, I don't have to knock on the door. I don't have to say, police. I don't have to do that. Here's my thing with that. And here's why I tended to believe that they did not do a no-knock. I believe that they did knock because those guys, when they were there, they were in regular clothes. They were in street clothes. So if you're doing a no-knock warrant just for safety purposes, you don't, because as a police officer going on a warrant, the last thing a motherfucker want to do is get shot. Which is why they should be in vests. They have on their vests, but they'll have on jackets, police patches all over them, so they won't be mistaken as a bad guy and get shot. Not just by the people who's in the house, but by fellow officers. If we're doing a no-knock, we going in with all our shit on. And the fact that they didn't, and you had at least one person tell it, people were saying, well, there's only one witness that testified, and they had to talk to that motherfucker like 3 or 4 times. Okay, it's 12 o'clock, something like that in the morning. How many motherfuckers gonna hear police on a knock warrant or a no-knock warrant, whatever the case may be? When the police are going in, I'm not at home right now listening for the fucking police to do a motherfucking warrant on my neighbors. I'm not listening for that shit. I'm just not. So the fact that you saying that, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do that. What if they had came but they didn't say nothing? Okay. let's just say that nobody heard him. Fine. When the motherfucker came into the house, and you clearly see that these, because here, and I'm gonna tell you this is the reason why I know old boy Kenneth Walker is on bullshit. Because Kenneth Walker was thinking only one or two things. He was thinking either this the police or these are the niggas coming to rob the dope house. That's it. Or the, cause I don't think they found any drugs, and I don't think that I personally don't think that she was selling drugs out the house, but I do think that this bitch was the money man. I think that this bitch was holding the bread. That's what I think. Because if they would have went there and they trying to get keys, you ain't gonna hit a trap house and then hit this house. It's two things you looking for: the drugs and the money. Well, and guns too. But if they hitting the trap house, then that means she ain't got the dope. She got to have the money. That's just how it go. Because you don't keep the two in the same place. For those people that may have been street pharmacists at one point or another, you can chime in here in the chat to tell me if I'm lying or not. I'm just saying, I know that. You don't keep no money. You don't keep your money with the dope. You just don't do it. That's drug dealing 101. When you got enough dope to where you the plug, you the man, or even the man next to the man, you don't keep your bread at the same spot as your dope. You just don't. That's just the rule. So if they hitting both of these houses at the same time, they trying to get the money and they trying to get the drugs. That's what they doing. That's why you gonna do a simultaneous search warrant. You gonna do them at the same time because you don't want one to tip off the other. So with that being said, that dude thought two things: either these are the police that done bust up in this motherfucker, or these are niggas coming to rob us. Plain and simple. And my thing is this: if you see not one, well, maybe one is sufficient. I see one white boy in my house at 12 o'clock at night, I know he's not the robber. He ain't the stick-up kid. He is not the dope man stick-up kid. He's not. He ain't Omar. Y'all want to know how the dude look that come and rob the drug dealer? Go and check out Omar on The Wire. There's a show on HBO called The Wire, and there's a nigga named Omar that robbed the dope house, robbed the dope man, robbed the money house. He did it all. He was notorious for doing it. That's how you see. So that if you see a white man in the hallway, right, them niggas be like, Omar coming. Everybody putting up the packages and that money. If you see a white man in your hallway, chances are he's not there to rob you. He's probably there to take your ass to jail, but he ain't there to rob you. And the fact is, and I'm going to say this too, about good old Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker ain't shit. And I don't know if it's going to ever come out or not, but I'm going to tell you what I believe. I believe that Kenneth Walker shot down that hallway on some scared shit, and I believe that Kenneth Walker got the fuck out of Dodge. I believe he got the fuck out of Dodge. I believe that them motherfuckers heard both of their ass. Heard that motherfucker bust up in the motherfucker. And Kenneth Walker was probably in that hallway, and Breonna Taylor was probably right behind them or very close by. That nigga let loose around, and he dove or ran somewhere, and she got lit up. Or maybe even as Elaine just said, Elaine just said, use her as a human shield. One or the other. He either shot and dove and got the fuck low. That's what he did. Or he used her as a shield. Thinking, and not saying that, well, he's still a piece of shit either way, but thinking the police ain't gonna shoot no woman. They'll shoot a man before they shoot a woman. Which is kind of true. But hey, that's just what it is. But when you in a gunfight, It ain't no motherfucking, oh, I gotta see if this is a girl or this is. Once I hear pow, and then he hit the officer. That officer went down like a motherfucker. And I even heard somebody say, oh, he just shot him in the leg. That ain't shit. Nigga, you can die from a motherfucker. There's a artery called the femoral artery. That's the artery by the femur. It is one of your main arteries. You hit or nick that motherfucker, chances are you don't make it. Most of the time, a motherfucker who gets shot in that femoral artery, they die. May take them about 2-3 minutes, but they die. That is a very, very, very vital artery in your body. It's like hitting your jugular vein. So it's like the fact that this dude shot the police, and then you can even say to this point too, nigga, you the one that kicked all this fuck shit off. Just like I tell people all the time, you holding court in the street. If you holding court in the street, I get it. But when it's time, sometimes you just got to go to jail. Sometimes you just got to say, fuck it. They got us. Might give up. Like Jar Jar Binks said, might give up. I ain't trying to fight it no more. It's over. Give the fuck up, man. Because so what you fucking around with, nigga, you ain't got enough guns in there to go back and forth with the police. So why even try? Why even try? Why even go through the fact of saying, okay, I'm gonna let this motherfucker loose. If this the police, they gonna shoot the fuck back. If this the dope man come, if this the stick up kid coming to rob the motherfucking dope man, he gonna shoot the fuck back. So what you gonna do? And that's why I said this dude ain't shit. Because if he was really about that life, he would have banged out right then and there. He would have made, if he was really thinking, if I'm really thinking that these are the motherfucking dope boy, the stick up kids coming to rob the dope man, I'm holding them niggas off. I'm not gonna shoot one and done. I'm not one and done and I'm out. No, I'm about to let it ride. They getting at least the full clip. But to shoot one time, you ran. I don't care what nobody say. Then you can talk about you don't know the facts and all that. I don't know the facts about that. I don't know exactly what happened. I guarantee you that motherfucker ran. Ain't no way in hell you the first nigga in the hallway, you the first nigga to shoot, and you down a cop, and you don't get grazed, you don't even get a fucking splinter. You don't even get pinched in this motherfucker. And Breonna Taylor catch 6, nigga, you motherfucking ran. That's it. You ran, dove, hid behind her. You got the fuck little. Period. Like my brother Heavy did when we was in the dark zone on motherfucking Division. He left us in the dark zone. He was like, I got little. And he still ain't shit for that. But that's neither here nor there. That's on the game. But that's exactly what happened. So it's like, once that shit took place, nigga, you kicked it off. They returned fire. They literally did what they were supposed to do. You can't tell me of a moment or an instance or a time where the police, the dope man, the stick up kid, or anybody is gonna get fired upon and not return fire. Where does that happen? Where does that happen? So it's like if a motherfucker sleep, if a motherfucker half woke watching TV, fell asleep with the remote in their hand, it don't matter. Once they hear that door, you up. Once that first shot go off, you up. So you know she wasn't asleep. And she called 6, and then they talk about, well, she got shot 6 times, they didn't get the police there until it was 6 minutes later, let her die, Joe. That could be true, except the coroner's report came back and said the wound that she suffered, that was the fatal wound, she died in seconds. They said at the most, she was maybe alive for 2 minutes, if that. But the wound that she suffered was fatal. So I don't know where exactly she got shot at, but she wouldn't have made it, especially with that shot and 6 others. So it is what it is. And then at the end of that whole thing, where they tried to say, and I can definitely say this: the dude who got charged for wonton soup, or what the wonton wanton endangerment. I don't know. I ain't never heard of that. When I first heard wonton, I said, what the fuck is wonton? I was actually reading it and I saw wonton. And I said, wait a minute, that ain't wonton, that's wanton. I'm like, my dumb ass. But for wanton endangerment, that dude literally watches too much fucking TV. That's just like that video I did about those police officers that was chasing after the guys and was shooting through their windshield and shooting outside of their fucking window of their squad car. Some of the dumbest shit I ever seen in my life. Some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. That dude to shoot blindly, trusting his motherfucking girlfriend like Pac. I trust you dearly, I shoot blind. Dude, why in the fuck would you even do that? And I understand that you may be scared. You want to try to save your guy. You heard that maybe the Sarge or somebody went down and you want to try to do something. You just don't shoot blindly nowhere. But not just because of you not seeing because everybody knows with firearm safety, you need to be aware of your target and what is beyond it. Why would you shoot blindly into a house knowing that you are responsible for every single bullet that comes out of your gun? I don't give a fuck what he can say. There's no reason for that. And that charge was appropriate. Your dumb ass going around shooting through a window, trying to motherfucking trying to help your boys. Nigga, you watching too much Miami Vice. You watching too much Tombstone. I don't know what the fuck you watching, but that is never okay in any situation. Because not only could you have killed one of your fellow officers, you could have killed somebody who was giving the fuck up. There could have been people in there. There could have been children there. There could have been some. Well, they checked for children, I guess, before they went certain one. But you still don't know. Anybody could have been in that motherfucker. And it could have been somebody who was giving up with their hands on their head. They could have been like, shit, I'm sitting here waiting. But your motherfucking blind shooting ass come just dumping bullets through a window. The fuck is wrong with you? And that just goes back to where the motherfucking training of some of these officers, it's so insufficient in certain areas. And then when you put them out into an environment like that, they do stupid shit, right? Motherfucker, that's some 1970 Starsky and Hutch shit, right? Easy. Like, nigga, what the fuck you think? This ain't Bad Boys. Hell, even Mike Lowry and motherfucking Marcus Burnett shot better than that. That shit is insane, the fact that he thought that that was okay. It's like, I don't get that at all. Why would you do that? Like, what the fuck, he thought he was quick in motherfucking Harlem Nights? And just sitting down and just boom, 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 and laid down all them niggas? It don't work out like that. This ain't TV. Everybody should remember that. Even my concealed carry, my civilian people, always remember, every bullet that is in your gun that comes out of that motherfucking barrel, you responsible for it. And the last thing you want to do is shoot an innocent person, shoot a kid, or shoot one of your loved ones, or shoot one of your homeboys trying to do the right thing by doing something that was reckless. That's all I'm saying as far as that. That was beyond reckless. That was just total neglect for and just being irresponsible with a firearm. It just was. I mean, just like people have accidental damages and all that, accidental discharges, that shit happens. And yes, sometimes it's negligence, and it's just one of those things that happen. But you should be responsible enough and trained well enough to know that ain't the thing to do. Just shoot blindly in that motherfucker, man. That is not the thing to do. That's never okay. So it's like, and I guess that was pretty much like the last part of it. But the other thing too that I want to just like get out of the way, all of these people that are in support of what happened to her and saying that it should have never happened and all of that, all I ask is that you do this. Go look at the evidence. Don't take my word for it. Just go and look at the evidence in the police report. And even if you a conspiracy theory motherfucker, you can't tell me that the evidence that's in that police report, because the police report thick than a motherfucker, it's about 20 pages. You can't tell me that that information in that police report is, number one, totally fabricated. You can't tell me that that information that's in that police report was not more than enough sufficient evidence to actually obtain a warrant and to execute that warrant. And you can't read that information in there and think that Breonna Taylor was a fucking innocent, defenseless woman who just was just living her life like it was golden until these evil, no good, racist, white Kentucky police officers showed up and killed her in her sleep. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. And that was one of the things why I kind of like just let the information roll in, because usually when it's shit like this, the information just keeps coming out. And especially when it's not serving the narrative of what the media is trying to do, it's gonna come out. It's just gonna be a little slow. It's gonna be on a drip. It's gonna drip on out. And now that it has, it's like people are just like acting like the shit ain't there, which is why I'm doing this. People are acting like there's not a police report now that you can go look at. People are acting like, well, why aren't we like not asking the questions to say, well, how did this dude only get not even a hair harmed on his head, but he was the first one to shoot, first one to hit the officer, and she did. Nobody's even like asking, like, dude, what the fuck did you do? Where was you at? How come you didn't see this shit unfold? What was you doing when she was getting the shit shot out of her? Nobody's even asking that question. Like to say, like, man, dude, what the fuck? Where the fuck was you at? And that was one of the things I said. I said, so wait, if he shot first, and then this motherfucker got shot 6 times, how this motherfucker out of, I think it was like over 30 shots, how this motherfucker didn't catching out nan slug? Even with the dumbass shooting blindly through the window, nobody hit this nigga? How is that? And that's when I said, that punk ass nigga ran. Or he hid. Or whether he hid behind her or whatever. That's how I came to the conclusion. I said, he had to. He had to. Unless this nigga's fucking Neo and fucking realized that he can motherfucking control the Matrix and did some old bullet dodging shit or did the simple no. Unless he did that, I can't see it no other way. I can't see it no other way. So let's go ahead and let's watch this, and then we can see if y'all want to. I may even open up the lines. Let's go ahead. Let's watch this first and see what we come up with. Is this the first one? Because I don't want to fuck up the order. I think so. Yep, this is. Yeah. All right, cool.
This is, first of all, a very historic moment. We've been waiting since March as an entire nation to see if there would be some accountability for the killing of Breonna Taylor, the 26-year-old emergency technician in Kentucky, in Louisville in particular. And now we see that there will be some form of accountability, at least charge on one of the officers. Now, there were 3 officers who were involved in the shooting. There was the first officer who went in, who was shot in his leg, severing a femoral artery after being shot by the boyfriend of Breonna Taylor, Mr. Walker. Then you had a third officer who was not named in this particular indictment that we hear right now, who was also involved as a plainclothes narcotics officer. The one who has been charged is the same one who was fired back earlier in the summer because the police chief issued a letter saying, you have engaged in a wanton disregard for human life by blindly, indiscriminately shooting into an apartment through a curtain, meaning he had no idea who he was shooting, whether the person he was shooting at or people posed even a lethal threat to his own life. And as you know, Breonna, the only way you can actually use lethal force is if lethal force is being used against you. And even then, you are only allowed to use that level of force to stop that lethal force, not to go above and beyond. And so you have an officer where the police chief really teed up the same language we just saw just now, read by the grand jury, by the foreman, talking about this very issue of that common denominator term of wanton. Now, what does wanton mean? Wanton is less than first-degree intentional murder. Intentional murder means you actually intended to kill the person who became the victim of the homicide. It often can require you to have pre-planning or malice aforethought, meaning you intended and planned to kill this person. So a lesser degree of a still unlawful killing is honestly the first degree or second degree wanton disregard manslaughter charges. That essentially means that you were aware of a substantial risk to human life, or that your conduct could pose grave bodily harm or the threat of grave bodily harm or serious injury. You knew.
And I'm sorry, but who in the fuck is this leprechaun St. Patrick's Day Black Lives Matter motherfucker? I can't. I just, it won't let me. Who is this motherfucker? And why does she have on all of the shades of green in this motherfucker? I'm a little leprechaun. The black lives, they don't matter, do they? That bitch will get up there and be like, what's your name? My name is Seamus Jackson. I've been an Irish Black Lives Matter supporter since 2015. Boy, and I guarantee you she from somewhere else. I guarantee it.
Of the risk and you acted anyway. You knew of the risk and you acted anyway. That is different than even a lower crime called reckless, where you didn't appreciate that there was a risk involved and somebody happened to die. They're using the wanton standard, which is about 20 years or more in prison you could have, up to at times life, but does not include the death penalty in Kentucky.
That can't be right.
Although it is available for first-degree murder, it does not include death penalty for.
I don't know if that shit is 20 years from wanton endangerment. Who the fuck gonna get 20 years for that? That's like murder. Shit. I don't know about that, but
a second
whatever.
degree or a wanton disregard crime here, because there's not that level of intent. And so this is a huge statement, and I think that the police chief teeing up early in the summer, maybe inadvertently, by saying you have behaved in a manner that does not fall in line with our training.
Hey, and while y'all watching this, click that like button. And just to let y'all know, we are almost at 6,200 subs. We are on our way to 10,000 subs by the end of the year. So let's keep it cracking. We got 1,000 subs to get for the next 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. We got 4,000 subs to get. So make sure we click that. If you're watching this for the first time or on the replay, all 223 of y'all, click that subscribe button. That's what's up.
We don't shoot through a curtain. We don't shoot through a wall. We don't endanger other people.
I want to ask you something though, which is,
she's so frantic to be talking to.
and I want to bring in Shimon on this. Shimon, if you can join us, because
who? Shimon.
Because I know you also heard this announcement as well, and you have this information. But if I could have Laura and Shimon, all of us in this conversation.
Now, I didn't think that Shimon would look like that. I thought that was going to be a black chick. I actually went to school with somebody named Shimon, too. Shout out to you, Shimon.
It appeared, Laura, and Shimon, you correct me if I have the initials wrong, but we're talking about wanton endangerment in the first degree going into a number of different apartments. Is that correct? The initials I have here are an apartment occupied by initial CE, and then another apartment occupied by initial CN, and then an apartment occupied by ZS. So what does this mean in terms of how this relates to the apartment that Breonna Taylor was in? If we do not see her initials, what does that mean, Shimon? Explain that.
Well, that's exactly correct.
Oh, yeah,
so we don't know yet, and we're going to hear from the Attorney General. There are some people here who expected this, expected for prosecutors to get an indictment on this charge. It is probably the lowest. Excuse me, sir. We're just it's, people here are very.
Hey, y'all remember that nigga in Chicago that walked past that dude? He ain't in Chicago. I can tell you that. That for the R. Kelly interview, where that dude who ain't got no stash was like, "Hold on, nigga, gotta go that way," and that dude was like, "Fuck you, man, nigga. I'm going this way. Hey, free R. Kelly. Fuck wrong with you?" Y'all remember that shit? That dude moved him out the way. You couldn't do that shit in the Shy. Nigga, fuck you up.
So there's a woman who I was talking to. She was in tears over this decision by the grand jury because they feel that the prosecutor did not go far enough. And the reason why and back to your point in a second, is because the family, if you recall, was asking for manslaughter charges. They felt that at the very least, and that prosecutors should move ahead with manslaughter charges. It's very clear that did not happen here. So what we now have is a wanton endangerment charge, which is a Class D felony, and I believe it's only punishable up to 5 years in prison. Much less than a manslaughter charge, and certainly much less than a murder charge. And that's why the family, I think, wanted a manslaughter charge. They thought it would send a stronger message. And it's not clear. And I think you make a very good point here. And I was talking to someone, a civil rights lawyer here, who said to me it's going to be interesting to see if they actually hold the officers accountable for the Breonna Taylor, the killing of Breonna Taylor.
You can't.
That is something that we have to wait probably.
And here's my thing with that. It's like, y'all want to hold them accountable for what? How is it that if a police officer takes fire, he gets shot at, that you hold him accountable for the motherfucker that he just basically had better aim with? If I get shot at and I return fire, how the fuck am I responsible for somebody else dying, for that person dying? It makes no fucking sense. And that just goes to show you how out of control we have taken we have allowed the media and these fucking political terrorist groups to take just such an asinine position when it comes to trying to get justice, to where they will charge anybody with anything and they expect the shit to fly. And nobody's saying, well, hold on, wait a minute. Now, I get it that this person is dead, but this bitch was selling drugs. She was fucking with dope dealers, street niggas, thug niggas. They were serving a warrant. What the fuck else do you think is gonna happen or could happen with a motherfucker who's doing this? That makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. And the fact they're even talking about this it's beyond me.
To hear from the Attorney General. Remember, we're waiting for ballistics evidence. We're waiting for more information about that. But it's very clear, at least from this indictment, that the Attorney General felt that what the officers here did was illegal, right? Because certainly Hankinson, and they didn't follow proper procedure, and they set themselves up for this situation where this happened.
And I'm so tired of these motherfucking masks. I can't understand half the shit that people say to me nowadays. Ain't y'all tired of this shit? I mean, god damn it, I'll be so glad when this shit is over. Man. Fuck, do y'all realize we got a bunch of fucking people wearing masks that are not stopping the spread of this virus. And motherfuckers are not only they are forced to wear, motherfuckers are going to jail and getting tased for fucking not wearing masks. What the fuck? I'm so tired of this shit. Man, when I wear that shit, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm telling y'all to do this shit too. When y'all put them masks on, put that shit under your nose. Having that shit over your nose and breathing in your own fucking carbon dioxide, I'm telling y'all right now, that shit will fuck you up. It's motherfuckers passing out from that shit. It's motherfuckers who are going to start getting sick because they're weakening their immune systems by doing that shit. I'm telling y'all right now, when they tell you, when you in a fucking Walmart or whatever the fuck you gotta be in, when you gotta wear a mask, put that shit on and have that shit like this. There's no law, number one, that says you have to wear this shit, or not have to wear it. There's no law that says it is illegal for you to not wear this motherfucker, first of all. But when you wear it, let your nose be out, man. You do not want to keep recycling the same fucking air that you're breathing in and inhaling and exhaling. That shit is not good for you. If it was, your nose would be inside your fucking mouth. I just thought of that. I'm telling y'all. This shit here and this shit here are separate for a fucking reason. They are not meant to be joined together by a fucking cupping mask. It's not meant to be like that. I'm telling you right now, when y'all wear that shit, put that shit on and have that shit right here. Let your nose be out. Because when you doing this shit, breathing in the same shit, it's not good for you. especially if your breath stink. That shit'll give you a headache. I'm just saying. But you definitely need to stop doing that shit, man. The shit is fucking you up. They ain't gonna say the shit, and you might hear it 5 or 10 years later. Yes, we didn't know that, but based on the data, there was nothing to substantiate that. Well, why the fuck are more people getting sick nowadays? Why? And I'm telling you like this. The reason why the medical industry are loving this shit and they cool with this shit because it ain't doing nothing but growing their business. All of this PPE equipment, all of this motherfucking wearing this, taking a shot for this, taking this pill, taking that pill, it ain't doing nothing but enhancing them pockets of the fucking medical industry. And then you got these motherfuckers who's taking the whole mask shit to a fashion level. Right, motherfuckers wearing Gucci masks, Louis Vuitton masks, Chanel masks, Nike masks, all this shit. I gotta match my mask with my hat and my shirt and my shoes. The mask gotta match. Man, let me tell you something. Y'all better start wearing these motherfuckers under your nose. I'm telling you, I'm just telling y'all. That shit will fuck you up. Don't put that shit all over. I don't give a fuck if it's an N95, whatever the fuck it is. Your body is not meant to breathe in the air that you are exhaling. And there's enough. I've said enough about that. Yep, and that social distancing, it weakens your immune system. I like being around these motherfuckers. Hey, motherfucker got that shit. I see a motherfucker coughing. Hey, what's up, man? Give me a pound, brother. Hug it up. I'm telling you. Now, if your ass is high risk, stay the fuck inside. But everybody else, get the fuck out and around this shit so you can get that herd immunity. I'm telling y'all, don't be thinking, oh, I'm just going to wait till the cure come out. I'm going to wait till they get the vaccination. I'm telling you, you better get your ass around other people. All that staying inside and shelter in place, if you ain't motherfucking high risk, you better get the fuck out there. I'm telling you, like, I'm just telling you what I know.
And that's an important part of this. But most important, it's going to be about the community and people who have been fighting for police reform, for social justice across this country, And if reaction from here is any indication, this indictment is not going to be sufficient for a lot.
I'm gonna stop right here and explain that Ashita Kupi. Ashita Kupi asks, how does social distancing weaken your immune system? What herd immunity is, I know I'm told. That's why I stopped. Hey, you Soto Nation, I stopped. Herd immunity basically means your body we all have germs. We all have bacteria on us. That's it. It's not that you're trying to avoid it. It's that you need it. Okay? There's germs and bacteria on us. Period. On our skin, when we talk, when all of that shit, it's just on us. We are supposed to be around each other to exchange that bacteria. And what that does, it helps each other. We help each other fight off disease. We help each other fight viruses because we are exchanging bacteria. That's why they call it herd immunity. So basically, when you're around motherfuckers and you together, because you're exchanging that shit, that strengthens your immunity. Okay, I'm telling you what I know, and I'm telling you for a fact. I spent more than half my life in the school system and around kids that went to school every day. Early on in my life, in my early 20s, when I first started being around kids from coaching baseball, when I started being around kids from working in the school system, and when I was working for a computer company, shout out to my man Steve at ACTG, when I was working in the school system as a technician, being around those kids, I would get sick from time to time, but I wouldn't keep repeatedly getting sick. It wasn't like I stayed sick. So when we had bad flu seasons, bad cold seasons, I would never get sick because I was around those kids exchanging those germs and shit like that. It strengthened my immune system. I've actually been in and around hundreds of people with COVID, have not had one symptom yet, and have been tested. I was actually at my job. They actually shut our department down because we had COVID. I didn't get it. And I attribute it to herd immunity. I attribute it to, because COVID ain't new. COVID, this is number 19. This is version 19 of the shit. And ain't the fact shit came out in 2019. It's because there have been other versions of COVID that then came out. The COVID has been around. Coronavirus has been around since for fucking forever. That's how when people were saying it's a conspiracy because it's on the Lysol can, and this Lysol can is back from 1997. Whatever the fuck it was, it's been around. It's not some new virus. It's a new strain of the virus, but it's not a new virus. Just like the flu. Same exact thing. The flu comes around every year. Why do you say every month certain motherfuckers get it? Because it's certain strains. I have never had a flu shot. Never will get a flu shot because I got herd immunity. My immune system, I'm like the Teflon Don. So all they're doing and what them motherfuckers did in Wuhan, they was tweaking and fucking with the shit to make it to where it would fuck people up. They kept fucking with different strands, mutating the fucking virus so it would be more and more and more effective to catch for motherfuckers to catch and pass the shit around. Exactly, CJ Gunn, like a chickenpox party. Chickenpox is something that you get and you will fucking get it and be done with it. The worst thing in the world is for you to catch chickenpox in your 20s. I think they say you need to have it by the time you turn 21. And they tell you, a doctor will tell you, you need to go and find your cousin, your little kid, or somebody to have it, and you need to hug them up, take them out to lunch, do something to where you can catch chickenpox before you get this age. If you like 17, 18 years old and ain't had chickenpox, you fucking up and you need to get it. Real talk. I'm just telling you that's what it is, because once you get it, that's it. You good. You ain't gonna catch it no more. You can be around other motherfuckers that got it. You ain't gonna catch it no more. So that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, you need to motherfucking realize that herd immunity works. There's some shit them motherfucking doctors and medical professionals ain't gonna tell you, because the more you do that shit, the less medicine you gotta take. You ain't gotta worry about the Theraflu. You ain't gotta worry about the motherfucking all that other shit that they be taking, them Z packs and T packs and all that shit. That's what it does. So being around other motherfuckers, it helps build your immunity. It does. Every once in a while, you will get sick. But once you get sick, you will build an immunity to that particular strain of the virus. So there, I hope that helps. I just wanted to drop that real quick because that was a great question and that shit was worth explaining, because people, your motherfucking lives and health is at risk here. And with you weakening your immunity, social distancing, you're not exchanging those germs, then now when something does hit, it's going to hit your ass like a ton of bricks. Because you've been sheltered in place for the past 9 months or past 6 months, ain't been outside. And trust me, y'all, it's motherfuckers that ain't been outside in 6 months. It's motherfuckers that done been in the house and ain't trying to go nowhere because they're scared. I'm telling you. And what this shit, and the fact that it's black folks is getting affected by this, and I'm trying not to stay on this shit, but it's important. The fact that black folks are getting this shit and dying from it, it ain't a fucking conspiracy to where it's attacking black folks worse. It's attacking black folks worse because we the worst at fucking self-care. That's why we getting fucked up. We are the worst at self-care. We the last motherfuckers to go to the doctor for checkups. We the last motherfuckers to eat healthy. We the last motherfuckers to work out. We the last motherfuckers to take physical health seriously. We are the last. The most fit motherfuckers in our community are the niggas that go to jail. Facts. When you talking about young people under the age of 40, most of them motherfuckers that's fit are niggas that done been to jail. To where they learned to work out because they didn't have shit else to do. And they developed the habit of working out. I just motherfucking signed back up for the gym a couple of weeks ago to get back on my shit. Now that this COVID shit is over with and all that shit, I'm done with this shit. I need to get back on my shit and get myself back in shape. I want to lose me about a good 50 pounds. Actually, exactly 55. It's going to take me about a year to do it, but god damn it, I'm going to do it. But those are the reasons why. Motherfuckers that got high blood pressure, motherfuckers that got diabetes, motherfuckers that got asthma and all that shit. All of that shit comes from us not taking care of ourselves. Drinking them motherfucking quarter juices, eating them motherfucking flaming hots, eating all that bullshit we like to eat, going to McDonald's every day, getting a motherfucking number 2 with an extra cheeseburger. Shout out to my boy Jeff. That was his shit. But going and doing all that shit takes a fucking toll on your body. And it's just that we are some resilient motherfuckers to a degree. Your body gets tired after 20, 30, 40, 50 years of this shit. And it'd be like, fuck this. Drinking that pop and shit like that. Yes, I got off of that shit. I've been off pop now shit for what? 2 months? 3 months? I was off of it for like motherfucking 3-4 years. And I just got back on my shit. I'm telling you. But when you thinking about why that shit is fucking us up, it's because we are the worst at self-care. What did he say, Brian? You lying about signing up. When you reached around to scratch your head, man, I could tell. Hey, man, I ain't sharing in my game, motherfucker. I'm getting my shit together, though. Shit. Fuck you, man. I don't get no fucking mind. Watch my feet, nigga. How about that? Shit. I ain't motherfucking shaming my game. I don't give a fuck. I know how to take accountability and responsibility for myself. I ain't where I used to be, but I know that I done slipped up. I done fell off. I had a lot of shit going on in my life over the past couple of years. I get it. I know why I'm where I'm at, and I know how to self-correct. I did it before. I do it again. I'm doing it now. So yeah, you right. You just gave me a little bit more motivation. I'm gonna do about another 4-5 reps tomorrow in the gym because of you, nigga. I'm gonna call them Dion Primes. There it is. But that's just what it is. I'm telling you, we have to do better in that shit, man.
A lot of the people who've been out here protesting every day, sitting here for weeks, calling for justice. And you can hear behind me already. I think a lot of people, Breonna, are going to be very unhappy about this.
Yeah, and
did he call her Breonna? This nigga.
And part of that, Laura, is there are just so many questions. Nothing's going to bring Breonna Taylor back, right? But there's so many questions about this, about the detective work.
Pop is a Chicago and Detroit. It's a up north thing. It's a Midwest thing. I don't know. It's hard for me. I know everybody else in the fucking world calls the shit soda, but we call it pop. I guess they used to call it soda pop, and we just took the pop part off of it. But yeah, it is. I don't know why, but that's just why I call it pops. It is what it is. But yep, soda. I guess soda pop. We just call it pop. But down south they call it soda, and even some of these country motherfuckers will call it a drink. Boys call that shit a drink, but whatever. Soft drink. Yep, soft drink, soda. Yeah.
Into pinpointing her apartment. About the fact that detective work
she's in Texas called everything a Coke.
Understand that actually normally on other evenings there even would be other people in her apartment, and also how that warrant was executed and whether officers really did what they were supposed to do when they were executing it, and did they tell the truth about it, and did they follow proper protocol. I think certainly anyone looking at what Detective Hankerson did would have serious questions about someone firing indiscriminately in such a way that it went into, it appears, multiple apartments, is what it appears by the charges. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, Laura. But there are a number of other charges that especially the people there around Shimon are going to say, this isn't.
Here's the thing, too. It's like when you're talking about what happened as far as that warrant, you have a choice to make. When that shit happens and it goes down, if somebody came and kicked in my door right now, the last person I'm going to think is coming in here is the police. You know why I'm going to think the last motherfuckers that's kicking in my door will be the police? Because I don't sell drugs and I don't do no fuck shit. So I don't have to weigh the fact of me saying I could be shooting a police officer. If I do, then hey, a motherfucker about to get paid. Because there ain't no reason for the police to be kicking in my door. And if they kicking in my door, they're kicking in the wrong motherfucking door. When you are living in that, you living a life of crime, when you out there in them streets and you bout that life, you don't know who it is. So it ain't no thing about changing the laws or changing the policies and if the police did everything right. They did. They had a fucking warrant for an address for some motherfuckers who was selling drugs. That's it. You don't need there is no, well, what can we do in the future to stop this? What you can do in the future to stop it is stop selling drugs, motherfucker. Stop being the money man for the dope man. That's what you need to do. If you don't want nobody kicking in your door, waving the fofo, screaming, Papa, please don't hit me no more, then goddamn it, don't be fucking around in these streets. That's it. And if you choose not to, then fine, but know what comes with it. Selling drugs, holding dope for the dope man. Oh, that's my cousin and he be over here all the time. We family. Fuck around if you want to. When the police come knocking or kicking in or no knocking on your door, know why. Because you've been fucking around with the wrong crowd. It's that simple. We are overcomplicating this shit. Has she not been fucking around with this dude on some dope boy money shit? Has she not been fucking this dude, period? But what's the deal? I like that thug dick. Because at first I thought that she was fucking both of them niggas. Until I realized, well, no, ain't no nigga gonna really have this. He living with this bitch over in this bitch house and this nigga coming over here. And now they trying to paint this narrative of saying he thought that it was him coming in the door. Well, the last time I checked, Jamarcus Glover don't look like a white man. That nigga don't look like that. So it is what it is.
Really accountability in this system.
That's true. And you have the idea, first of all, we knew pretty early on by the description by the police chief as to why this officer was fired, that he could have harmed an apartment unit that was neighboring that had, I believe, 3 occupants. So you may actually be seeing, without having it in front of me, you may actually be seeing those initials correspond to a neighboring apartment where the officer discriminately fired and led the bullets to go that direction as well.
So one apartment, 3 people is what you're saying.
3 occupants.
Possibly.
That's my belief from the police chief's earlier letter that he wrote over the summer when he fired the officer who has now been.
And the thing about them firing the officer, I mean, I get it. They fired him because it was a thing that they could do, and they were like, "This is cut and dry. We can fire this motherfucker for this shit, and it's gonna make us look good, and it's gonna keep these people, the American liberal public, off our ass. We giving them some blood." They realized that the motherfuckers from this shit happening, that they wanted a pound of flesh. Once they saw Black Lives Matter was involved, they knew we got to get them something. Here go their pound of flesh. We fired the officer immediately. Got it. My thing was this. Did the officer do some fucked up shit? Yup. Now, if you can prove that that officer bullet struck somebody, then yeah, I would say fire that motherfucker. If that officer bullet hit an innocent person, yeah, fire that motherfucker. But the fact that he didn't kill nobody, and I haven't heard of any ballistic reports saying that one of his bullets killed somebody or harmed somebody, reprimand the motherfucker. Train him better. Suspend him even, without pay. Give that motherfucker a 6-month suspension. I don't know why people feel like, and there's another thing too. Let me check motherfuckers on this shit. Any other job that you have, motherfuckers will get wrote up, verbal warnings, written warnings, suspensions. Suspensions with pay, suspensions without pay, and possibly even in some instances, they will get demoted or they will get fucking recasted in another position. It seems like anytime a police officer sidesteps, missteps, or fucks up in the least bit, the instant fucking move is firing the motherfucker. Now, if a motherfucker died because of their actions and it was carelessness or recklessness, I totally get it. Yes, you fire a motherfucker like that. But do you realize that a motherfucking doctor can kill your ass and that motherfucker don't lose his job? And that motherfucker go to school way longer than a police officer. That motherfucker has training way more extensive than a police officer. That motherfucker got to pass all kind of tests, can still get out, kill your ass, fuck up a procedure, fuck up a goddamn order for some goddamn meds or some shit. Same thing with a motherfucking nurse. And at the worst case scenario, they will motherfucking say, okay, well, you can't really, you can sue, but there's a cap on the lawsuit. And that doctor has fucking insurance. That doctor don't go to jail. When have you ever heard of a doctor going to jail besides Dr. Kevorkian? Of a doctor going to jail for motherfucking fucking up a procedure, leaving a sponge in, forgetting a scalpel, forgetting a pair of scissors or some shit like that. They can lose their license. How often does that happen? How often do you hear that shit on the news? That shit don't happen. Like, there are plenty of doctors that have had malpractice suits filed against them, and all it was that they gave them that, because there's a limit on it now, in case motherfuckers didn't know that, but they motherfucking file a malpractice suit, they get a settlement, and that's it. That's it. You don't hear doctors motherfucking losing their licenses left and right because they fucking up. You don't hear it. And they be fucking up a lot. I can't tell you, and shout out to motherfucking nurses. I can't tell you how many nurses. Ask a nurse. I guarantee you ask a nurse. I ain't talking about no CNA neither. I'm talking about a real motherfucking nurse, a registered nurse, a motherfucker that got RN behind their name. I'm so tired of these niggas that be talking about they motherfucking nurses. No, bitch, you a nurse assistant. You an assistant nurse. Motherfuckers be lying. I'm a nurse, bitch. You a CNA. It's a difference. You a LPN. What's that? No, the LPN, the license. I think, and maybe I might be fucking up, but I think it's the licensed nurse practitioner, the LPN. I think that's a motherfucker that's damn near a doctor. I think that motherfucker can write scripts and shit like that. But it's the LPN or something like that that's just you under the CNA. Like, bitch, get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here. Ask an RN how many times have they went back and fixed some shit that a doctor done fucked up. On a dosage, on orders. Ask a real nurse, especially a nurse that's working in like an ER or working in a real motherfucking serious ass ward. Ask a motherfucking nurse. If there's any nurses in the motherfucking chat, tell me in my line. How many times have you seen some shit a doctor put down and be like, no, that ain't right. Dr. Jehoshaphat, this ain't, you sure you want to send this? Yeah, nurse practitioner, right? Okay, yeah, that's what it is. That's the motherfucker that's close to a doctor. That it's the registered nurse, and then the step above the registered nurse is the motherfucker that can write prescriptions, but ain't like a doctor. But it's plenty of motherfucking nurses that have to go back and check what a fucking doctor done did because a doctor will fuck up. But that doctor don't lose his job. Anytime a police officer, that police officer put the cuffs on too hard, they should fire him. What? That police officer hit that motherfucker in the mouth. His mouth was bleeding. They should fire him. Huh? How is that? I don't understand it. He's the trained professional. He's supposed to be here to serve the public. Man, get the fuck out my face on the internet. That don't mean you can't fuck up on your job. How many times have people fucked up on how many times have you fucked up on your job? It's like, come on, dude. That's bullshit. And the first thing a police officer does that's wrong or questionable, first thing a motherfucker wants is them to lose their job. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. That's right. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. That shit is bullshit, man.
In charge. And so, but this does not answer or resolve the question and every explanation of wanton disregard for human life. It begs the question, well, if it was wanton disregard for human life to indiscriminately shoot through in an apartment occupied by Breonna Taylor and Kenneth Walker that led bullets to being fired in a neighboring apartment, then why was it not enough to actually charge for behavior when there actually was an actual victim of a homicide in that room? And so people are going to wonder that question, and they'll have to provide
because the whole problem with all of this is that they were there because they had the legal right to be there. They were serving a warrant, and these motherfuckers shot at the police. What the fuck is so hard about this shit? I can't. I've had enough of this because these and the thing is too, I saw somebody in there saying the motherfucking CNN lie. Here's the thing about CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and all the rest of these motherfucking major media outlets. All these motherfuckers are playing the spin game. Whatever motherfucking person is owning they fucking shit, whatever person is backing, whatever narrative that they're backing, all they do is spin shit. They either tell half truths, they either tell or make up some truths, which are lies, or they just won't say shit or acknowledge shit at all. They all do it, which is why motherfuckers like us that's out here gathering information from all that's available from both sides and say, hey, here's what we know to be true. That's why it's so important for us to do what the fuck we're doing. And when I see motherfucking content creators that's just talking about their feelings, I get it. But you need to also have some type of integrity to where you're talking about what the fuck actually happened to, as opposed to being one of these motherfuckers. Because I could be sitting here and spinning this shit for the police, saying, yeah, the police are doing their job. They're going out here every day, putting their lives on the line, and they didn't do nothing wrong. And these people, no, they did some things wrong, but they weren't the initiators of the shit that led to shit going left. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. So it's like you have to have some type of guidelines that you follow to even get to that point, which is why I said what I said in the beginning. Had this bitch not been living that life, had she not been about that life, bowdy and rowdy, she would not have been in this position at all. You ain't got to worry about the police kicking down your door when you ain't fucking with dope boys. You ain't got to worry about the police kicking in your door when you ain't slanging dope. Plain and simple. Bitch, stop fucking around in this here game and you ain't got to worry about them their police coming to knock down your motherfucking door. Point blank, period. Shit crazy. Let me go to this other video real quick. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Hey, good afternoon from ABC News headquarters in New York. We are interrupting regular programming because there is a major development in the case of Breonna Taylor, the 26-year-old black woman killed in her apartment by Louisville Metro Police during the botched execution of a no-knock search warrant in March. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron is about to announce the grand jury decision, which we've just learned. Charges against one officer for wanton endangerment. No charges for the other two officers who fired their weapons or the fourth officer who filed the request for the no-knock warrant, who also faced possible charges tied to discrepancies in how that warrant was obtained. The city of Louisville on edge under a state of emergency right now. Streets are blocked off and many buildings boarded up in anticipation of the decision. Protests there in Louisville related to Taylor's death, demanding charges for the officers involved. All of them have been taking place for more than 100 days. I want to go to ABC's Alex Perez right now in downtown Louisville. And this, no doubt, is a stunning decision, Alex. You've been covering this story from the get-go. And one of the things that stood out to me was that the victims named in the grand jury report appear to be neighbors of Breonna Taylor, but not Breonna Taylor or her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who were in the apartment when the shooting began.
Now, that was very important that they said that. The fact that they're saying that what they were doing and what they did was, which was to their benefit, they took Breonna Taylor out of that shit. They took Kenneth Walker out of that shit. And the reason why they charged that dude with that wanton endangerment is because his bullets went into, I think, two or three other apartments. So the people that live in those residents, in those houses, in those apartments, they actually can file a complaint against the police department for that. So that's why they did it the way they did, which was smart. Because this shit ain't got shit to do with Breonna Taylor. This shit has everything to do with that officer being reckless with his firearm. And that in itself is what the problem was with those other residents. Him shooting bullets into Breonna Taylor's apartment, if you take that shit to court, he's gonna, for the most part, be justified because he's returning fire. But him recklessly firing his firearm and those bullets going into other apartments, that's where somebody else that's where he really fucked up. Because I can say, hey, I'm Breonna Taylor's neighbor. I don't fucking sell drugs. I ain't fucking have nothing to do with this warrant. And this motherfucker shot 2 bullets into my motherfucking apartment. I got kids. The fuck you mean? Fuck wrong with him? So that's absolutely something that he has every right. Those people have every right to make a complaint about that because he fucked up, and that's why you shouldn't do it. Plain and simple. So that was smart that they did that shit that way.
Yeah, that's correct, Tom. What we heard from that judge who was reading the grand jury indictment, we did not hear Breonna Taylor's name. These charges of wanton endangerment relate to neighbors who were in that apartment complex. Now, this officer, Brett Hankinson, he's the officer that has since been fired from the Louisville Police Department. He is contesting that firing, but he's the officer that's accused of firing his weapon aimed.
And my thing is this, too. How come ain't nobody said shit? And shout out to the people over in the United Guns of America channel, over in the VIP section of the UGOA. I see y'all over there. Thank y'all so much. Click that like button. Click that subscribe button if this is your first time checking it out. But I don't understand how come nobody's like saying that this officer that actually got shot in the line of duty and suffered a very dangerous gunshot wound. How come ain't nobody giving him no awards or no accolades? How come they're not motherfucking saying that he's a fucking, a hero because he motherfucking took a bullet in the line of duty doing his job? Just saying.
Not having a shot through a wall, through a window, and the charges that he's facing based on the grand jury are related to that, endangering the. So the next few hours will be key. But, we have to remember the court of public opinion and the court of law are two very, very different things. The public here asking for murder charges, but a prosecutor has to look at this from a legal perspective and bring charges forth that they believe they can prosecute and get a conviction on. It appears in this case, the evidence presented to the grand jury was not that, because what we saw were those wanton endangerment charges, Tom.
All right, I want to bring in Dan Abrams now, our chief legal analyst. And Dan, I want to just break down this case a little bit for our viewers.
Hey,
if
you know what,
Dion
Prime?
March 13th,
no GoFundMe either.
Police,
but I did see that, what's that dude? Shit. The black dude, damn, I can't think of this dude's name. Shit, the YouTube dude. That he be with Blexit, the dude I did the video about when he was talking about Brandon Tatum. He actually did some shit that I was like, that's putting your money where your mouth at. That dude actually wrote a check for the, yes, Brandon Tatum. He actually wrote a check for that dude that got shot for like $5,000, and then he taking like donations for that dude. So I got to give him some kudos for that. That motherfucker actually put some bread up to donate to that dude that took that gunshot, and man, and he pretty much said, hey, shit, if ain't nobody else gonna do shit for him, I'm gonna do something for him. And them motherfuckers came with some, I don't know how much it was, but I know he said he was at least putting up, I think, $5,000 and whatever else people wanted to donate, during a certain amount of time, whatever he was gonna get at that dude. So that was what's up. I will say that it's good to see somebody doing something for a motherfucker that's doing the right thing, because that's all this shit comes down to. It all comes down to this. It's like we can all have sides. We can all have our opinions. We can all have our perceptions, but we have to be governed by righteousness. What's the right thing to do? And what's the right way to go about things? We have to get back to that shit. Telling the truth, and I said the truth, and actually doing what's right. Let's get back to that. Let's start letting our decisions that we're doing, let's start making those things be sent. This is the right thing to do.
A no-knock warrant, which essentially is they bang down the door and try to come inside to the apartment. She was with her boyfriend at the time, Kenneth Walker. When Breonna and Kenneth hear this knocking, Kenneth Walker's attorneys have said he asked who it was. He wasn't sure who it was. He feared for his life, so he fired. Louisville Metro Police returned fire, shooting and killing Breonna Taylor. She was shot at least 8 times. We now know some of the firing also hit neighboring apartments as well.
From criminal. And again, I'm just explaining what the grand jury did here without making judgment on what they did. The family has gotten a big settlement, but most importantly, major changes in the police department as a result of that.
And my thing is this too. Have y'all seen since Breonna Taylor's family got $12 million? Have y'all seen them at the protests? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't been looking at the protests like that. But have y'all seen Breonna Taylor's family at any protests? Have y'all seen them doing any more press conferences? Have y'all seen them walking around with Justice for Breonna t-shirt? Have y'all seen them, period? I'm just asking. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, but y'all I'm just asking y'all if has anybody seen Breonna Taylor's family since they got this settlement? They ain't probably actually got the actual check yet, but they've agreed to a settlement. So I'm just saying, y'all let me know with the $12 million that they about to get, which probably gonna wind up being roughly around, let's see, what's 33 in the third? That's gonna be maybe about $3 million. So they're gonna probably get about 9 million, somewhere around there, maybe high 8 point something or 9 point something million dollars. When they actually get that check cut, y'all tell me if y'all still see them out here. Y'all just keep that in mind. He said, you and Mariner should be way more connected in these times if it's just a micro discussion. But yeah, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind going on his show or shit, having them on mine. That shit would be all good. It's a lot of the shit that, you know, and I've seen him and what's the other dude? The black dude with the glasses. Oh shit. ABL. I've seen him and ABL, and I watch them from time to time, and them dudes, man, we pretty much agree on a lot of shit. It's a few things I've seen that I didn't agree with them, but shit, ain't nothing fucking perfect 100%. But definitely, it's a lot of shit. You know, I think one of the biggest things that I ever had a disagreement with about Breonna Taylor was that frisking shit. That was some bullshit. That bullshit that Bloomberg was trying to get back in, that was some bullshit. Fuck that. I ain't never gonna be with that. That stop and frisk shit, that's some fucked up shit. Real talk. Real talk. So Breonna Taylor's originally from Grand Rapids. I didn't know that. That's some shit there.
That settlement. So when the question is, should there have been criminal charges, it gets tricky when the police have the legal right to have been there, even if it was a bad warrant, but if they have the legal right.
It's not a bad warrant. I don't understand why they trying to make this shit seem like it's something that it ain't. It's like, it's not a bad warrant. It's not a bad warrant, dude. That shit was a good fucking warrant. If you look at the fucking report, they have more than enough evidence to say we need to bring this bitch in. And knowing what this bitch has been in the past, she renting cars for this nigga and all that type of shit with dead bodies winding up in it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let me get to this dude. Yeah, this is what I wanted to get to right here.
From the grand jury and from the judge.
Well, this was a city that was waiting. They've been waiting for more than 6 months for this decision to come down. I'm standing here in Jefferson Square Park right now, where a lot of protesters have been here at this makeshift, protesting and speaking out, trying to get justice for
any circumstances.
All right.
The decision before my office as the special prosecutor in this case was not to decide if the loss of Miss.
So this is the actual fucking attorney general. And you know what's fucked up about this? Let me say this. Niggas on social media ain't shit. Because you know what? Because this nigga ain't agreeing with what the fuck some niggas like, or what some niggas are saying about this, or basically being on her side. Niggas are calling this motherfucker a coon. They talking about him, comparing him to other motherfucking AGs in other fucking states. Saying, well, this dude here did this, then this old coon nigga here, he did that. They started that whole, the skin, how does it go? Just because they the same skin don't mean they the same kin or some bullshit like that. It's like, what the fuck? Have a fucking point and make it. If you disagree with what the fuck he said, then that's fine. But why the fuck would you make it to where this dude ain't shit, he a piece of shit, he a coon ass nigga, because he don't agree with what the fuck you think he should do? That is so fucking stupid. Jackson Larry, this the same hoe ass nigga that came in before and wouldn't say shit. Butter Biscuit Show. What the fuck does that mean? You motherfucking Tyreek fucking tag along wannabe motherfucker. You can't even explain that. Butter Biscuit Show. I love a motherfucking fresh buttermilk biscuit made from scratch. Who the fuck don't? That's, you know what that shit is? That's a nigga literally making up some shit. And nigga say, yeah, that's funny. The fuck is wrong with you? Go to Popeyes, nigga. You mean to tell me you don't like them biscuits from Popeyes? I know I do. The fuck is wrong with people? Niggas would just, and you know what the problem is of it is? I don't care if you agree or disagree with me. That's fine. But the fact that niggas will just say anything you tell them is a fucking problem. And they won't even try to work it out in their mind to say, well, what does that mean? If I wanted to call a motherfucker and say, oh, you doing this a butter biscuit show. Before I said that, I would ask, if a motherfucker asked me what that means, what would I say? It's some coon shit. Okay, if a motherfucker asks me what is some coon shit, then what would I say? I don't know. That's some Uncle Tom shit. Okay. If a motherfucker say, well, what does Uncle Tom shit means? What would I say? Y'all niggas ain't even smart enough to ask that question. What the fuck? It really shows how it shows how just not even ignorant. You are just not an intelligent person. You are a dumbass. You are literally that. Like saying like you don't have education. Like you stupid. Like you have not progressed past an elementary school level of thinking. When you can just type in anything and you can't articulate what it means, or if a motherfucker asks you to say, hey, I'm gonna open up the lines, come explain to me what you saying, you can't then go and articulate that, you are dumb as fuck. And it's embarrassing to yourself, but it's more embarrassing because I see niggas doing the shit most of all. It's embarrassing to me. You embarrass not just yourself, but or your family or your name. You are embarrassing your people by saying things that you can't articulate. If I don't know it, I don't know it. I'm not gonna go out and say something that I don't know about. And then when a motherfucker asks me to explain it, I'd be like, yeah, you know, well, you know, I'm just saying, yeah. Well, I was just, you know, like that stupid dude that said, y'all remember that dude that was in the chat? And I said, why would you say that shit? And after like really like just challenging him on what the fuck he said, that nigga's only response was, I guess I was just typing out loud. Do y'all remember that shit? That was that nigga's response to a nigga being, to me holding him accountable and saying, articulate yourself, bro. What the fuck did you really mean? Oh man, I don't know. I was just typing out loud. What? How the fuck do you even do that? So you said some stupid shit. Then when I asked you to explain the stupid shit, you couldn't. You couldn't articulate your point or what you were even trying to say, and you summed it up by making another statement that made no sense whatsoever in the English language. Like the words you said, you can't put them together and it makes sense. That's how dumb you were. I was typing out loud. That nigga felt that that was the response to make. That nigga, I said, boy, if you don't sit your dumb ass down, and I know that there are dumb people in every race, but at least those motherfuckers have the sense enough to be quiet and to shut the fuck up. You niggas are more emboldened to say stupid shit, and then when a nigga asks you about your stupid shit, you still come back and say something else stupid. It's unbelievable. And it all boils down to, well, if you say, well, why did you say it? I'm just upset at what you saying. Nigga, I can say what the fuck I want to say, especially because I'm in America. And more importantly, I'm on my own fucking show. And if you are that upset to where you feel the need to insult me on my show, why not just leave? Why not just click the X? But you can't do it, can you? Nope. Because it's the truth. And the problem with most niggas, the problem with most people is that the truth is so what's my saying? The saying I got from I think it was Steven Jackson that said it. The truth sounds like hate to people who hate the truth. Niggas are allergic. They break out in hives when you hit their ass with too much truth because they don't want to assume personal responsibility and accountability for their actions. And when you put that truth on their ass, it literally fucks them up. And the only thing that they can do is make ignorant outbursts, like we used to say, like niggas say in the folks meeting. Them ignorant outbursts you making, folk. That's what niggas do. Like, okay, JJ, what the fuck do that mean? What the fuck does that mean? And if you ask the nigga to explain it, he either would, and I want to say that that stupid ass nigga that didn't even know how to work a fucking webcam. Your dumb ass can't even get on fucking line, or he didn't have the internet or some shit like that to where he could even get online. I want to say, I'm almost positive this that stupid ass nigga that did that shit. Well, I was like, okay, come on and jump on and tell me what the fuck you mean, nigga. And the nigga like, my internet ain't, my computer don't, I can't hit the link. It's giving me an error, man. It was some stupid shit like that. And I told that nigga, before you start critiquing and telling another nigga what the fuck they should do or what the fuck they doing you don't like, get your technology straight first. You don't even know how to work a fucking phone or a fucking laptop to where you can click a fucking link. And you trying to tell another nigga that he motherfucking soft shoeing, he motherfucking eating butter biscuits, he buck dancing for butter biscuits. Nigga, you need to buck dance for a fucking laptop. You need to buck dance for an introduction to computers motherfucking workshop. How the fuck you don't know how to work a fucking phone or get online in fucking 2020? Nigga, it's beyond me. But if that's your position, nigga, believe me, you are beneath me. Yes, I sound elitist. Yes, I sound like an asshole. Nigga, if you can't click a link and you don't have a webcam and your phone don't have internet, you are a fucking peasant, nigga. You ain't shit to me. Facts. If you coming on my platform to talk shit and you don't have sufficient technology to get online and cam up and voice your opinion, you are a fucking maggot. You hear that? You are a fucking maggot, nigga. So get the fuck out of here with that shit you talking and go get your ass a phone that's been made within the last motherfucking 3 years at least so you can get online. God damn. And it ain't just you that I'm going in on because I see niggas doing this shit on Tommy motherfucking shit too. Niggas be sitting there talking all that shit. Click the link. It ain't working. It's on mute. We can't hear you. Nigga, you talking shit to a nigga and your ass don't know how to work a computer? I don't do all this. Well, that's what the fuck you need to be doing, nigga. Computers been around for the past motherfucking 40 years. Nigga, and you don't know how to work one? Nigga, shut the fuck up. You know why you don't see my mama trolling on the internet? You know why you don't see my mama trolling on niggas' YouTubes? Because my mama, as sweet as she is, she don't know how to work a computer that good. So she stays in her fucking lane and she plays Candy Crush, she plays fucking Spider Solitaire, and she enjoys the fuck out of her Netflix. She ain't on the internet talking shit to niggas that she don't agree with because she don't know how to click a fucking link. That's why my mama does that. She is fucking 77 years old and she knows stay in your fucking lane. But not Jackson Larry, you stupid motherfucker. Who the fuck got a last name for a first name and a first name for a last name? You dumb son of a bitch. You dumb son of a bitch. That in itself lets me know that nigga, you are nothing. You haven't even, your grown ass ain't even smart enough to change your fucking name around. Take your ass down to Vital Records and say, I need to do a name swap. What do you mean, sir? My name is Jackson Larry and I need to reverse that shit. That's what the fuck you need to do, nigga. Imagine, I bet you, what's your mama name? Motherfucking Smith Pam? Bitch, yo. Your brother name is Jackson Berry? What the fuck? Who has a name like that? God damn. Let me get back to my shit. Enough of this peasant. As Nino Brown said after the Carter got raided, leave me. Nigga.
Taylor's life was a tragedy. The answer to that question is unequivocally yes. There's no doubt that this is a gut-wrenching, emotional case, and the pain that many people are feeling is understandable. I deeply care about the value and sanctity of human life. It deserves protection, and in this case, a human life was lost. We cannot forget that.
Hey, you know what? That's a great point you just made, Mr. Chahua. He says, why are people in California more pissed about the shooting than those in Louisville? Here's why. I'm going to explain this to you. And this is some fuck shit because everybody's doing it. The motherfucking governor in Illinois and the mayor in Illinois are talking about Breonna Taylor. And I'm going to tell you how they all full of shit. And all they're doing is milking the fact that this girl is dead. They're just milking it for fucking publicity. They ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking media whores, and they should be running their cities and states. If you really cared about what happened to Breonna Taylor, if you really wanted to stop to say, well, I don't want what happened to Breonna Taylor to happen to somebody in Illinois, or I don't want something to happen, what happened to Breonna Taylor to happen to somebody in Chicago, or I don't want what happened to Breonna Taylor to happen in California, because it's absurd. If you really gave a shit, then you law-writing, motherfucking, you law jurisdictional motherfuckers, y'all would all be getting together saying, hey, we having a press conference because we're changing the laws here in Grand Rapids. We're changing the laws here in Chicago. We're changing the laws here in Illinois to where this won't happen. If you motherfuckers really meant what the fuck y'all was saying and wasn't just saying some shit just to be relevant, you all would be, because y'all the motherfucking lawmakers, y'all the fucking politicians, y'all control what's going on in y'all states. What the fuck you do in Illinois ain't got shit to do with what the fuck happens in Kentucky. What Kentucky does don't make Illinois shit. What motherfucking California eats don't make motherfucking Chicago shit. So if they really gave a shit, they would be, instead of on fucking live, instead of holding fucking press conferences, they would be the ones in the rooms right now rewriting legislation or writing new legislation that would prevent this from happening again because it's so terrible. But you know why they won't? Because what the fuck happened to Breonna Taylor? It wasn't a legal issue. It was a fucking lifestyle issue. So they can't write no fucking laws about it. They can't write we need to come up with this new law to circumvent this. They can't. And that's why they don't. And that's why they won't. They just gonna sit around and talk shit.
My job as the special prosecutor in this case was to put emotions aside and investigate the facts to determine if criminal violations of state law resulted in the loss of Ms. Taylor's life. This included examining the actions.
Marcus, you ain't have to bring that nigga headline up, man. We all know his headline fucked up, man. That shit is far back like a motherfucker. He done turned his forehead into a 6 head. That's okay. We know this nigga is having motherfucking movies and not dreams when he sleep. We know that this nigga, you can show a motherfucker, that nigga forehead is bigger than a motherfucking iPad mini. We know this, Mike. But you, Marcus, but you ain't had to bring that shit up, man.
Of Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, Detective Brett Hankinson, and Detective Miles Cosgrove, the 3 officers who fired their weapons in the early morning hours
to the shit he's
of
talking
March
about
13th. In working with our federal partners on this case, it was determined that while we would share information to advance our respective investigations, we must also maintain some level of separation to ensure the integrity of each investigation. When examining issues regarding potential civil rights violations, we determined that any such violation are better addressed through a federal-led investigation. and issues involving potential criminal acts concerning the shooting are better addressed by a state-led investigation. With this in mind, our investigation focused on the events that took place in Ms. Taylor's apartment on March 13th. In the months since taking this case, our dedicated team of prosecutors.
Chris, and that's the thing too. Chris Reed said they didn't find anything in her crib. She probably wouldn't have faced charges. And this just goes to prove my point even further. Because number one, there was a huge time gap from the shooting, because the shooting fucked up a bunch of shit. There was a huge time gap from the shooting to where they actually went through and searched that house. But let's just say there wasn't shit in there, or let's say they missed it. Either way, if you know that, hey, we ain't got shit, you would be even more less inclined to shoot. You would be all, hey, I give up, shit, ain't no problem, I'm good, yep, hands behind my head, okay, yep, I'm fine, take me to jail, okay, I got you, sure thing, boss, we good, yep. They would have been more inclined to even to give up to do that, because they would have known I ain't got shit. It's like when you driving your car and you ain't got no dope or no money and no illegal guns in your car. What do? Yeah, you can search my car. Also go right ahead. I don't get no fuck. Search, nigga. Search that motherfucker, nigga. I don't get no fuck. Same thing with your house. And that's why I said motherfucking Kenneth Walker is a scary ass nigga. Because that motherfucker saw what the fuck was going on and shot anyway. Even if you thought a motherfucker was coming up in there, once you saw that white boy in that hallway, nigga, it's a wrap. There is no way you win that situation. It's just like when people try to run from the police, or when police tell motherfuckers, all right, you going to jail, and a motherfucker start fighting the police. You not gonna win. Why fight it? Why? Why go that far to say, well, I'm gonna resist arrest because this ain't right? Or I'm gonna just talk to him. Or I'm gonna try to get out. You not getting out of it. You sitting back talking about, I'm not that type of guy. I'm not that type of guy. I'm not that type of guy. Why not just say, let me go ahead and go to jail and get the fuck out? Let me go ahead and say, hey, hands up, I'm good, don't shoot, I'm sleepy, whatever the fuck. Take me to jail because ain't shit in this house no way. When I get to jail and you ask me questions, I'm going to say one word to you and one word only, lawyer. And that's it. Because my homeboy or my ex-nigga is the dope man and he got bread. He just picked up the money 4 hours ago and you niggas missed it. So it ain't shit here. So why not do that? Why not just give up the ghost and go to jail? Because you not motherfucking, they ain't got shit on you. You got nothing on me. Like motherfucking Scarface said, you got nothing on me. What do you got? What do you got? You got nothing. You got nothing. And that's what the fuck they should have done. But that nigga shot that motherfucking gun off and got the fuck little, and she died because of it.
Investigators with more than 200 years of combined career experience conducted a thorough investigation to better understand the events that led.
You got to remember, no snitching. They might be scared. Here with me. Man, let me tell y'all something about this snitching shit. When it comes down to motherfuckers getting that time, it's very few niggas nowadays that have the honor of motherfucking honor amongst thieves to where they ain't snitching. Very few. The game ain't like how it used to be. Motherfuckers, when they get locked up, that's one thing. But when you facing them motherfucking years, when they put them years on the table, and that prosecuting attorney comes in there and say, this is what we gonna go after. If you don't give us something, if you don't cooperate with us, this is what we going after. Nigga, you gonna do 20 years. It ain't niggas taking that no more. You don't see niggas taking 20 years like, all right, I'm gonna do my time. I fucked up. I got caught. This is what it is. Hey, they gonna take care of me. Motherfuckers don't do that shit. Niggas been getting off into that bullshit even back in the motherfucking 70s and shit with Nicky Barnes and all them niggas. Them niggas was fucking that dude's girl, fucking around with that dude's girl while he doing time for their ass. That nigga kept his mouth shut and was gonna do the time for these niggas. And you know what them niggas did? We gonna fuck your bitch. And that nigga was like, oh, so that's how y'all gonna play it? Okay, then we gonna all take a motherfucking ride. How about that? We gonna all sit down. So niggas that high up on the food chain with that much money, they didn't even have the honor amongst themselves to do what the fuck is the right thing to do. Oh, you peeped that shirt, gent. You peeped the shirt. You peeped the shirt. The sausage king, baby. But that's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers, when them years get put on the table, our niggas are snitching. Now, when you first get arrested, police talking to you in the motherfucking interrogation room, yeah, niggas still snitches get stitches. You right. When the police come and canvass the area and asking the motherfucking civilians what they done seen, who they seen, yeah, them motherfuckers ain't gonna say shit. But when them motherfucking years get put on the table and slid over, when them motherfuckers say, hey man, you gonna do 30 years. We going for the max. Them niggas start, each day through my window, I watch her as she passes by. Oh yeah. I say to myself, you're such a lucky guy. Oh yeah. Them niggas start singing like the Temptations. That's exactly what they do. Don't y'all get it twisted. Don't think that Tekashi 6ix9ine is the first motherfucking snitch that then came along in a good while. Nope, just one of the most popular ones. All these niggas are telling. Go look at motherfucking 48 Hours. That shit is real. You give a nigga a Coke and a sandwich, or a soda pop and a sandwich, and a square, 2 hours, nigga, they telling. When you come in that room and you see that nigga laying on that table sleep, that let you know that nigga comfortable enough to where he gonna tell. If it's 20 of them motherfuckers that get pulled in, I'm telling you right now, 17 of them niggas snitching. You might have 3 that's gonna be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do my time. I'd have been in before I go in again. Shit, I got a few niggas in there that I can still hang out with. Shit, hell, I might run into my old nigga bitch that I was with in there. It's cool. Telling you, don't be thinking that these motherfuckers ain't telling, because they are.
Today, I want to personally and publicly thank them for their tireless work. These men and women are true public servants who for months...
And I don't understand what it was that they felt that the AG was supposed to do. They talking about justice for... And it's like, here's the thing too. When these motherfuckers are bringing charges, when they are indicting motherfuckers, that's because they have enough sufficient evidence to do so. Just because a motherfucker is dead ain't enough sufficient evidence to indict everybody. So y'all tell me, for the people who are watching this and say that this black dude is a coon and he full of shit and he ain't getting no justice for Breonna, what is he supposed to charge them with, these other officers, and why? I'll wait for that. Tell me what was supposed to be the charge. Can't be murder 1. Can't be murder 2. And it can't be murder 3. They were all, I said murder 3, manslaughter. They were all being fired upon. One of them actually took a slug. What else are you supposed to do? Call a timeout and say, hey man, we the police. Didn't you hear us knocking at the door? What you doing? Manslaughter how? How is it manslaughter when you are defending yourself? Nobody got shot until the police officer got shot first. None of the police officers fired a shot until one of their own took a slug first. So how do they make it? How are people connecting the dots to say it makes sense to charge them police officers with manslaughter? Under what grounds? And even if they did it, what fucking court of law is gonna say, yeah, that was manslaughter that y'all did, y'all need to go to jail for that and lose y'all jobs? Do y'all understand that when you charge a motherfucker like that, you fire a motherfucker like that, that them people can come back and contest that and then sue that very same department? And when they sue, they will get back pay, they will get defamation of character, they will get all kind of motherfucking restitution for that shit. And you know who pays for that shit? The people who live in Kentucky. the Kentuckians, whatever the fuck they call it, the Louisvillians. They gotta pay for that shit. That shit ain't coming out some fucking magic fund. That's taxpayers' money going right back into the pockets of them same police officers. So them motherfuckers are very careful with who the fuck they charge and bring up on charges, because when you do that and you fuck up somebody's name, you can be sued for that, man. Especially when you got money. Like the city of Louisville do, obviously. They got $12 million laying around. I'm just saying, I would not want my fucking state's attorney to fucking file some bogus charges to make me feel good when I know that we gonna have to pay the motherfuckers who we filed the charges against, even though they was bogus in the beginning, but we filed them just for the sake of filing, and then we gotta pay the motherfucker for doing it. That's stupid. Makes no sense whatsoever. I don't understand that shit. You can't just bring motherfuckers up on charges to make people feel good. This ain't Players Club.
Have shown up every day with a desire for one thing, and that is to see
right,
the
Amanda.
truth.
Motherfuckers paying, taxpayers pay that shit, and they paid her family.
Gathered by LMPD's Public Integrity Unit, we would need
You
to
caught that
conduct
UFO?
our own independent investigation and start from scratch in the interest of thoroughness, fairness, and finding the truth. There was no video or body camera footage of the officer's attempted execution of a search warrant at Ms. Taylor's residence.
Now, here's the thing with that. And everybody knows my position on body cams. I believe that every law enforcement agency in this motherfucking country should wear them. But there is a caveat to that. And the caveat to that is when you're doing things like this, like serving search warrants, things like that, when you're going on raids and you got motherfucking tactical teams and tactical units, you can't film that shit. You cannot film tactical motherfucking maneuvers. Why? Because they tactical motherfucking maneuvers. You don't want the general public to see what the fuck you do as a tactical unit, because if you do, then you would motherfucking basically be giving them a playbook, giving them the playbook. So that's why you can't do that. You can't film that shit. Now, traffic stops and shit like that, abso-fucking-lutely. But when it comes to tactical shit like this, like when you have HBT going in and shit like that, you can't film that shit because motherfuckers can see that shit and see what the fuck you doing. You can't go and film motherfucking shit like a motherfucking drug raid or some shit like that. You can't do that. Now you can film shit like the collecting of evidence and shit like that. That's cool after the fact. But you cannot film how a motherfucker hit a house. You can't film how a motherfucker show up, showing that a motherfucker we show up at 5:30 in the morning. Who's gonna see it? Because here's who would see it, Danny. That's a good question. The reason why the people who can see it would be the general public. Anybody could FOIA it. You can FOIA that. There's a thing called so like when you look at body camera footage, when you listen to central dispatch phone calls and all that shit, all of that stuff is something that you can get access to based on the Freedom of Information Act. So basically you do a FOIA request to any of those departments and they have to, by law, produce that information to you. Whether it's video surveillance footage, I mean, not video surveillance footage, but if it's body cam footage, if it's a 911 dispatch call, all of that shit. That's how lawyers do that shit. When they go and they have a case that they want to, that they're trying, they're going on trial of defendants, they get all of that shit in the discovery, and those are done by FOIA requests. And you definitely don't want motherfucking the drug dealers and all these niggas that you know that motherfucking commit crimes seeing how the police hit a house, seeing what the SWAT team do when they doing a hostage situation or something like that. Because when you get a crazy motherfucker and they see that shit, they gonna play for that shit. They gonna map for that. They gonna plan for the shit that they see. So anytime that there's some type of motherfucking SWAT team maneuver, or there's some type of hostage barricade terrorist maneuver, all of that shit, because they practice that shit religiously, goddammit. They practice that shit all the time. You don't want to see what they carrying, what they shooting, how they approach shit, what's the plays on this, what's the plays on that. You don't want to see that. You don't want people seeing that, rather. I know there's plenty of motherfuckers that would want to see it, but no, you don't do that. So that's why in this instance, body cams shouldn't be worn. I get the fact of having the transparency for it, but that shit reveals too much of a tactical playbook to motherfucking, or tactical maneuvers to do that. So you can't do it in this instance, but in all those other instances, absolutely.
Video footage begins at the point that area patrol officers arrive at the location. Therefore, the sequence of events from March 13th had to be pieced together through ballistics evidence, 911 calls, police radio traffic, and interviews. We utilized information from the Kentucky State Police, local medical examiners, as well as working with the FBI crime lab in Quantico to secure a trajectory analysis and ballistics report. Our team conducted interviews in this case and spent thousands of hours examining all of the available proximity to apartment 4. In other words, the warrant. The scope of our investigation did not include the obtainment of that warrant by LMPD's Criminal Interdiction Division. Federal law enforcement partners are conducting that investigation. Sergeant Mattingly and Detectives Cosgrove and Hankinson had no known involvement in the preceding investigation or obtainment of the search warrant. They were called into duty as extra personnel to effectuate the service of the search warrant. They only had information conveyed to them during their prior briefing.
Right.
Evidence shows that officers both knocked and announced their presence at the apartment.
Yep.
The officers' statements about their announcement are corroborated by an independent witness who was near in a proximity to apartment 4. In other words, the warrant was not served as a no-knock.
Hey, you know what? It was served as a no-knock warrant, even though they had the option to do that. And here's what Boutit Trucker 78, he said everybody in the hood know how the police knock. Dude said they didn't know who it was, so he just started shooting. Gangsters don't knock. You are right. And here's the thing with that. If this was some real gangster shit, if it was some motherfucking, if the stick-up kids would have been coming to rob the dope house, them niggas would have came in there ready to blast everybody. Plain and simple. That the motherfuckers that robbed the dope boys, if your ass show even this much resistance, they putting your ass down. They don't give a fuck, period, because they like, nigga, ain't nobody gonna care that you dead. They ain't gonna give no fuck if you dead or not. They ain't gonna give no fucks. So that's why they coming in there. They gonna be ready to kill your ass. They not just, we gonna try to go in here and rob this drug house and ain't gonna kill nobody. Nope. They like, shit, we gonna rob this motherfucker, we gonna commit to robbing it. This the money house too. We coming in here, we gonna come in here in the minute a nigga do anything that we don't like. Shoot everybody. They gonna shoot everybody. Like, fuck that. We ain't playing. You talking about these, you motherfuckers talking about these motherfuckers coming in to rob dope, man? Okay, we gonna rob your ass. And if your ass do anything left, we blasting you, homie. We gonna blast your ass. You getting shot. So you best to be able to motherfucking, you better be ready for a fight for your life if you gonna go up against the niggas that's robbing the dope, man. That's robbing the dope house. Just saying. That's just what it is. So it's like to be thinking, we didn't know what it was. We thought it was this and we thought the guy was going to do that. Bullshit to the back. You didn't think that. You saw that white boy and you let it ride and got the fuck out the way. And it fucked up everything, including Breonna Taylor's life. She lost her life fucking around with your scary shooting ass when you should have just went to jail. You could have just took the motherfucking L, took the motherfucking arrest, and you would have been home by now.
Warrant. When officers were unable to get anyone to answer or open the door to apartment 4, the decision was made to breach the door. After breaching the door, Sergeant Mattingly was the first and only officer to enter the residence. Sergeant Mattingly identified two individuals standing beside one another at the end of the hall, a male and a female. In his statement, he says that the male was holding a gun, arms extended, in a shooting stance. Sergeant Mattingly saw the man's gun fire, heard a boom, and immediately knew he was shot as a result of feeling heat in his upper thigh. Kenneth Walker fired the shot that hit Sergeant Mattingly, and there's no evidence to support that Sergeant Mattingly was hit by friendly fire from other officers. Mr. Walker admitted that he fired one shot and was the first to shoot. In addition to all the testimony, the ballistics report shows that the round that struck Sergeant Mattingly was fired from a 9mm handgun. The LMPD officers fired 40 caliber handguns.
Boom.
Sergeant Mattingly
Did you hear that?
Fire down the hallway. Kenneth Walker fired the shot that hit Sergeant Mattingly.
One more time.
There's no evidence to support that Sergeant Mattingly was hit by friendly fire from other officers. Mr. Walker admitted that he fired one shot and was the first to shoot. In addition to all the testimony, the ballistics report shows that the round that struck Sergeant Mattingly was fired from a 9mm handgun. The LMPD officers fired 40 caliber handguns. Sergeant Mattingly.
Boom. So that's lets you know right then and there what it is. We know for a fact that this dude shot the police because all those police officers carried 40s. That dude had a 9. There it is.
Return fire down the hallway. Mattingly fired 6 shots. Almost simultaneously, Detective Cosgrove, also in the doorway, shot 16 times. This all took place in a matter of seconds. In total, 6 bullets struck Miss Taylor.
So if he shot, wait, no, that's right. So yeah, so if he shot 16 times, that means he emptied out his whole gun. Because if he got a 40 cal, which he probably got a Glock 22, then that means he has 15 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. Yep. 15 and then 1 in here. So that lets you know he finished his gun. His slide was locked back and smoking. When after all that shit went left. After the shit went left, he dumped his whole gun down the hallway at Breonna and Kenny. That lets you know right there what had happened. So and 16 blind and I don't think that was the dude. I don't think that was the dude that shot through the. That's not the dude that shot through the window. That's the other guy. But it's not 16 blind per se, because of where you see your target is. That's what you're shooting at. That's what you're shooting at. And the reason why I would send 6, I'm gonna tell you why I would send 16. I'm gonna send 16 because my man just got hit. And I don't want them to shoot again. So if I come through, if Sarge is in front of me, he hit the door, I'm behind Sarge, tucked ready behind Sarge. Sarge takes a first shot is fired, bang, Sarge goes down. Then I'm gonna let loose because I want to lay down cover fire. I want to try to kill the motherfucker, or at the very least, back the motherfucker up off of us that just shot Sarge. That just shot Mattingly. I don't want to, because number one, I want to stop this guy from shooting anymore, and I need to get him out, and I need to give him time to get out. So actually, that would be the thing to do. You got to let it ride as opposed to shooting once and trying to see what happened. Nah, I need to get some cover fire going down range at this motherfucker to get him up off of us. So there's some reasoning as to why that would make sense, and I get that part. Because and it's not a thing of, oh, I'm gonna shoot 16 times. It's like I'm gonna keep shooting because I want this motherfucker to back the fuck up off me. So I'm gonna send them shots, even if dude shot once and then dove the other way, or peeked back, or peeled off some way, or went the other way, or laid down and got little somewhere. I don't want him coming back to shoot back at us. And another thing too, being in a hallway, that's what we call a fatal funnel, because it really ain't nowhere to go. So everything that's coming down that hallway is pretty much gonna hit in that area. You're talking about the hallway is maybe 4 feet wide, if that, maybe 42 inches wide, something like that, depending on how small the house is or whatever, or the apartment. Could have been a narrow hallway. I don't want to give this dude any room to shoot anymore. That's essentially why I'm doing that. He says, and if 3 shot, why do they say 1 shot 6 and 1 shot 16? Because if once he got hit, he shot 6 times. So he's literally just trying to get this guy up off of him, but he's hit. He's trying to get out of there too. The guy who's behind Sarge is shooting 16 times. And then I guarantee you the Action Jackson that was behind that was shooting through the window, that shot blindly into the apartment, he probably made it up for the rest.
Evidence obtained by our team indicates that only 1 shot was fatal. Further medical evidence shows that Ms. Taylor would have died from the fatal shot within a few seconds to 2 minutes after being struck. Detective Hankinson fired his weapon 10 times, including from an outside sliding glass door and through a bedroom window.
Right.
Some bullets traveled through apartment 4 and into apartment 3.
So he just said it. The guy that shot through that, he couldn't see shit, which is why it was fucked up for him to shoot.
3 residents of apartment 3 were at home, including a male, a pregnant female, and a child. There is no conclusive evidence that any bullets fired from Detective Hankinson's weapon struck Ms. Taylor. The KSP ballistics analysis did not identify which of the 3 officers fired the fatal shot. After receiving that information, I asked the FBI crime lab to conduct its own analysis to see if they reached the same results. The FBI ballistics analysis concluded.
And make sure y'all click that like button, click that subscribe button, people. Appreciate you. And you click that donate button too. Shit, why not?
To determine if there were major differences in the procedures used by
man, Mike hit your boy up with 444. That's what's up. 4440. Well, great show, B. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Both law enforcement agencies use similar equipment and analysis, and each lab is highly respected for their work. There was nothing our investigators could point to, nor anything provided by the respective agencies that directly explains why one lab made the call while another did not. I think it is worth repeating again that our investigation found that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified.
Danny Robinson hit your boy off with $5 too. He said a little love to help keep the lights on. Peace. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Secondary to this justification, the KSP and FBI ballistics analysis reached different conclusions, creating a reasonable doubt in the evidence about who fired the fatal shot. I certainly understand the public's desire for answers, and many have questioned the length of the investigation. Simply put, we had to try every means necessary to determine who fired the fatal shot before the investigation could be completed.
CJ.
With a thorough and complete knowledge of all evidence collected in this case.
Oh, yeah. I announced you the last time.
Special prosecutions.
Yeah, hit me with that $5. CJ Gunn, hit me with that $5. Said thanks.
Before a grand
hope your
jury
son is doing
comprised
well.
of Jefferson
Thank you for
County
breaking down
residents
another show. Yes, indeed, I got that.
Beginning on Monday
I said it.
and concluding today. In Fletcher v. Graham, the Kentucky Supreme Court said that the grand jury has competing but balanced functions. On the one hand, its purpose is to investigate allegations of criminal conduct and determine if there is probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed. Taylor's death.
And here's the thing too. It's like I don't understand why people were so upset with this guy. I just didn't understand it. The dude came up here. He literally explained what they did, why it was done, why they prosecuted what they prosecuted, and why they're getting that he even having the feds come in and do a separate investigation. What more do you want? What more do you want from me? It's like, I don't understand that. That to me, man, is just way out of pocket, man, for people to just be trying to drag this dude because he's literally coming out doing his job. He's literally doing his job. It's like, I don't understand that. Why are you mad at this dude for doing his job properly? Because he just ain't going off of his feelings or going off of y'all feelings and what y'all feel. He's literally looking at the evidence and saying, based on the evidence we have, this is what we did and this is why we did it. I don't understand that.
The truth is now before us. The facts have been examined.
Right, and LeBron. Jury. And man, let me say this about LeBron James. LeBron James is yet another example of a woman-raised man. He is so emotional, and here's my problem with LeBron. He's too fucking rich. He's too big of a fucking influence to not be getting the facts. He too old to be out here talking about his feelings when he not doing no fucking research. And I understand you feel like you trying to get your Bill Russell on, you trying to get your Jim Brown on because you an influential athlete. You want to be able to speak your mind and talk about what's right and stand up for your people. I understand that. But nigga, if you ain't going to go out here and get the facts, if you're not going to go out here and speak the truth, the problem I have with you is that you're hurting our people. The very same people that you talking about, you trying to help, you're hurting them by lying to them. You're hurting them in the long run by perpetuating the false fucking information that they're receiving. You're perpetuating the false narrative that the media is putting out, which is dividing us more and more on a racial standpoint. That shit is not cool. Because at the end of the day, if a race war does jump off, LeBron James is living in fucking, what's the name of that goddamn place in California? Rich as fuck, California. Rich as fuck city in Los Angeles, California. The last thing you got to worry about is some white folks and more importantly, some goddamn black folks coming to fuck your shit up. Calabasas, right. He in Calabasas or Burbank, one of them motherfuckers, one of them rich ass neighborhoods. It's like, dude, what the fuck? All of these rich athletes are talking this racism, social justice bullshit, and motherfucking Belmont. I think it is Belmont. I think that is it. But whatever. All these motherfuckers talking all this bullshit are the rich motherfuckers. And it's like when I hear some shit like somebody telling a motherfucker like LeBron to shut the fuck up and dribble, it's offensive, but I understand because you talking out the side of your neck. Niggas need to stop. And I'm not talking about these motherfucking political motherfucking terrorists that's motherfucking manipulating these motherfuckers. Niggas need to stop with this fucking I'm speaking for black people shit. Especially when you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Just because your ass got money don't mean you a spokesman for black folks. That go for the Cardi B's, that go for the fucking Offsets, that go for all of these motherfucking athletes that got money and don't have no fucking facts and are buying into this bullshit ass narrative. Y'all need to stop it. Like them niggas on the Breakfast Club. Y'all niggas, yes, it's Brentwood. That is exactly what it is. You're right, Top Notch. Y'all need to stop doing this shit because y'all fucking up the broke niggas' lives. Y'all motherfuckers ain't got to worry about shit going left if it's a race war. Because even if they do fucking wipe out all the niggas, they gonna keep a handful of you motherfuckers to keep playing basketball, to keep throwing the football, and to keep hitting the baseball, and to keep putting on the boxing gloves, and to keep grabbing the microphone, doing the motherfucking 1 2 1 2 microphone check 1 2 1 2. So y'all niggas is safe either way it go. LeBron ain't picking up no AR going back to Cleveland if shit go left. Him, Bronny, and all the rest of them motherfucking Jameses is gonna keep staying their ass in fucking Belmont. Is that what it is? Brentwood. And they gonna keep having Taco Tuesdays. That's what the fuck he gonna do. So all this shit, the black woman is the most unprotected woman out here. Nope, she's not. Kids are. Get your shit right. The black woman is the most unprotected. No, it ain't. It's children. They're the most unprotected. We protect black women more than we protect children. Go look at DJ Just Jay's motherfucking page at his motherfucking YouTube to prove my point. Go look at the AFC podcast and you will see who the most unprotected group is in this motherfucking country, in the motherfucking world. Craig, the world. But you have these rich motherfuckers that just say shit for the sake of saying some shit so they can be in the mix of some shit. I don't want to hear from fucking Offset about what the fuck I need to do to better myself as a person and to better our people. Why? Because Offset ain't concerned about shit but the drip. He ain't concerned about shit but dabbing. He ain't concerned about shit but a money phone. That's it. And I ain't hating on him for doing it. But don't be out here thinking you speaking for us. Cardi B ain't good for shit, but and motherfucking you, obviously your wet ass pussy ain't good enough. So you ain't even good enough for that. You good enough for and acting like a fucking whore. Ain't mad at you for doing it. That's what you want to do. It's America, goddammit. Do it. But I don't need you speaking for black folks. I just don't. It's too many intelligent black folks out here. It's too many niggas that actually know what the fuck they're talking about, that actually know what our people need, that need to be getting the opportunity to speak. And it shouldn't be you just because you got a motherfucking platinum album out. It shouldn't be you just because you done won motherfucking 2 championships. Or 3. It don't matter. You lost more than what you won, motherfucker. But I don't need y'all speaking for us. Y'all shouldn't want to be speaking for us. Charlemagne the God, motherfucking DJ Envy, and Angela Yee aren't educated enough to be speaking for black folks. Hell, I ain't. There's plenty of other smart niggas that's smarter than me that can be speaking for us. But just because a nigga got 2 million followers, we want to hear from them when it comes to somebody asking for black folks. And the fucked up part about it is that niggas ain't upset about it. Because you don't see motherfucking these political candidates going to talk to the most popular Asian motherfucker, do you? Ain't nobody going to talk to hear what Lucy Liu got to say about world events when they trying to get the Asian vote. Ain't nobody going to talk to Ariana Grande when they trying to get the motherfucking Hispanic vote or whatever the fuck she is. You don't see the motherfucking political motherfucking politicians going to talk to fucking Eminem to find out what the fuck he thinks about white issues in America. We the only ones they do that shit to. You want to get the nigga vote? Throw a free concert and have Bron talk and have LeBron James talk. Throw a free concert and get motherfucking T.I. to talk. Grande is Italian. Okay. You don't go to Ariana Grande to secure the Italian vote. That's all I'm saying. We need to have enough motherfucking respect for ourselves to say, hey, motherfucker, go talk to motherfucking Offset if you want to. Go talk to Cardi B if you want to on behalf of black folks and see what the fuck we do. We gonna cancel your ass. Y'all want to drag somebody on the internet? Drag the motherfucker who decided to have Cardi B, a bitch who ain't even black, come and talk for black folks. It is what it is, man. We keep letting these motherfuckers treat us like this. We keep letting motherfuckers do this stupid shit to us, and we think the shit is cool. And it's not. It's insulting. Shout out to Paul Carrick. Thanks for the super chat. He said, thanks for speaking for me. Right. Shit. That shit is crazy that we are okay with that. And the fact that they're doing it and they're continuously doing it. And they only do it every election. Every 4 years, we go find the most popular niggas to talk to and say that this is the voice of the black folks. You got a motherfucker like Kamala Harris. That bitch sat out and said, yeah, when I was in college, I was listening to Snoop and Tupac. Bitch, Snoop and Tupac wasn't even out. Fuck is you talking about? And we cool with it. We don't say shit. Oh, yeah, she did kind of misspeak, man. That don't matter, though. It's cool. Everybody make mistakes. Let a nigga say that. Let me tell y'all, yeah, back when I was in, when I was in school, shit, I was listening to motherfucking Migos and them. Y'all gonna be like, Brian, if you don't get your motherfucking 46-year-old ass out of here, Migos wasn't out when your ass was in high school, nigga. Stop lying. Yeah, you right, bro. They gonna be like, nigga, you full of shit. Yo, fugazi ass, get out of here. Shit is crazy, man. Let's go ahead and finish this up and get on up out of here.
Comprised of our peers and fellow citizens, has made a decision. Justice is not often easy. It does not fit the mold of public opinion, and it does not conform to shifting standards. It answers only to the facts and to the law. With this in mind, we must now ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Will we continue to prosecute the charges brought in this case as it now proceeds through the justice system and moves to trial? That is our responsibility. And this will be done while the FBI continues its investigation into potential violations of federal law. I know that not everyone will be satisfied with the charges we've reported today. My team set out to investigate the circumstances surrounding Ms. Taylor's death. We did it with a singular goal in mind, pursuing the truth. Kentuckians deserve no less. The city of Louisville deserves no less. Every person has an idea of what they think justice is. My role as special prosecutor in this case is to set aside everything in pursuit of the truth. My job is to present the facts to the grand jury, and the grand jury then applies those facts to the law.
And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Gfriend94 said it's insulting. Well, I think she meant it's insulting as a black woman that they get Cardi B to represent us. It is. It really is, man. Let me see. What does this say? Wada said, if Republicans are racist, why is it that most of these claims of racial injustice and police are happening in Democratic-run cities? Here's the thing. It's not racism. It's really not. It's the game that's being played. It's all under the disguise of racism. They use racism as the vehicle. And they use racism and they say racism and they throw that word around because they know it's a trigger word for niggas. That's it. The minute a nigga hear racist, It's like when you hear the word race, when black folks hear the word racist, it's like they start looking up like the Thundercats. Y'all remember in the beginning of the Thundercats, where it'd be like Thundercats, Thundercats, and them Thundercats be looking up, seeing the motherfucking Sword of Omens, and that's it. They all locked in. Soon as we hear racism, soon as we hear racist, as soon as we hear white folks, we all right there. Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose. Hear the magic, hear the roar. The nigger cats are loose. Nigger, 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 nigger cats. The nigger, 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 nigger cats. Nigger, 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 nigger cats. That's all we do. Soon as we hear racist, niggas get them nigger cat eyes, and all we lock in on is he a white racist, he a white racist, you 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 a white racist. Could be a rapist too, but white racist. That's all we do. We don't give a shit. They know that it's a trigger word for us, so that's why they throw it around. Same thing how they did, I mean, and not to say that here's my thing, I've always said this. Politicians on both sides, Republican and Democrat, are full of shit. They're full of shit because they're both playing the spin game. Plain and simple. The thing about it is that what the Democrats do is that they use us to keep us down to where we are motherfucking the dumbass slaves just listening to whatever the fuck they telling us when they're the ones that's actually fucking us over. Republicans ain't got our best interests at heart, but they just not as grimy as the fucking Democrats. The Republicans are at least, here's my thing. The Republicans are kind of like this. Nigga, if you gonna get it, you gonna get it the way we got it. You go out here and you get it on your own. You want it, go build it. I ain't got shit for you, and I ain't got shit against you. If you make it, fine. If you don't, fuck you. If you ain't got no money, I ain't trying to hear what the fuck you saying. The thing about Democrats is, no, fuck that. I don't want you to have shit that I ain't gave you. I want you to eat the scraps that I throw on the floor for you. Not that I leave on the table, the ones I throw on the floor to you. I want you to be my fucking dog. I want you to stay here, lay on the floor, be loyal, and wait for me to feed you. That's just what it is, essentially. It's one that's just don't give a fuck pretty much for the most part about you. And the other is saying, I want you to be on my floor, licking my fucking floor and licking my fucking boots at the same time, because that's where the fuck I want to keep you, because it makes me feel good knowing that I got you right where the fuck I want you. Begging. Living off of me. It's just like a motherfucking dude who don't let his wife work or don't want his wife to have no friends. The more control I have over you, the more you are dependent upon me. I am your source. Without me, you ain't shit. I decide if you eat. I decide if you live. I decide when you sleep. I decide all that shit. So all the while, the Democrats are saying, we're going to raise all these taxes to give you this free shit, but we're going to give you only just enough free shit to barely get by. Make a wave when you can. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give you just enough to where you are able to just live. Even though it's on your knees, you're still living. That's the Democrat thing. They pander to us. They okay all of the fuck shit that we do because it keeps us down there. And the minute somebody tries to motherfucking show some different shit or say, hey, y'all ain't got to live like that, y'all know, then the first thing we say is, the first thing the Democrats say is, don't listen to them. They racist. And we hear, racist. You right. Yeah, they are. The working poor, exactly. Anytime you got a bitch like AOC telling you, don't go to work, stay home and protest, while she goes to work and she's collecting, what, $178,000 a year? Just think about the type of hypocrite I would be if I make $178,000 a year and I'm representing you and I'm telling you, don't go work, Stay home and protest. Meanwhile, I'll go to work and I'll do my job. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to raise your taxes and say you need to pay more in taxes to cover all of the fuck shit you've been doing. Think about that. How can a motherfucker have your best interest at heart when they're telling you not to work for what you get? Not to go out and earn what you get. They want to give you something. I give you just enough. Yeah, I give you food. I ain't gonna give you no cash. I give you some food stamps though. I ain't gonna give you no money. No. I give you some food stamps. Yep. I'll set up a clinic for you to come and get shots and stuff for your kids. That's fine. If you let me give your kids this motherfucking Adderall and this trial medicine, I'll give you a couple of more dollars. That's fine. Because I know you ain't going nowhere. Because I am the source of your entire financial portfolio. I control all your finances, literally. Imagine if, do y'all remember when the government said, when they threatened the possibility of motherfucking public aid checks not going out? Niggas lost their mind. We need our aid. We need our food stamps. We need to get this. We need to get our weave and stuff. We ain't got no check. We can't get this. Niggas was going insane. Just by the hint of it not happening. Not one time did they say, I tell y'all what, y'all don't let these government checks come on the first and we ain't vote for none of y'all motherfuckers ever again. They never not once said that. They just said, we got what we gonna do. Y'all need to get this together. Y'all need to fix this. If you that dependent on a motherfucking free lunch, then you have no power whatsoever. You are at the mercy of those that feed you. It is what it is. All right, I think that's enough of that. I just pretty much wanted to just get a lot of this shit out in the open just because I was just so tired of people like flat out lying about Breonna Taylor, what she was, what she did, lying about who her boyfriend was and what the fuck he really did, which was shoot and run, and lying about and not even mentioning this nigga Jamarcus Glover, who was the motherfucking plug, and that's why he was fucking with her in the first place, because she was the motherfucking money. She was the money spot. And you can't tell me nothing different. I ain't, no matter what a motherfucker say, you don't know that for sure. You ain't got no facts. I tell you what, you can't prove to me that she wasn't. Ain't no motherfucker. If she ain't no EMT, what was her job? I'll wait. If she's not an EMT, which we proved, then what would be her job? How's she getting money? How does she make money? Tell me that. If she was not an EMT, what would be her occupation then? Dope man, other bitch. That's her occupation. And she was fucking around in the game, and it came up, and it caught up with her, and she lost her life because, not the police, but because her new boo fucked up and put her in a bad situation, and she died because of it. I've seen the police reports. I was gonna pull all that shit and show all that shit. It's out there it's out there so easily to get. It's no point. That's why I was like, well, what if people started, saying, no, that ain't true, Do I need to pull these reports up to show? And I was like, hell no. Niggas can go out here and look and find this shit easily. That shit is easily found. It's out there. These motherfucking media outlets just ain't talking about it. These motherfuckers ain't out here looking at this shit and just saying, well, wait, let me go find and see what the reports say, instead of listening to what this fucking news anchor's telling me. Let me go see for myself. Yeah, I looked at the shit already. It's out there, dude. It's easily out. It's easily accessible. So to those people that have questions and have doubts and think I'm full of shit, by all means, just Google it. Google the police report. It will show you exactly what they found. And to those people that try to say, man, what they be saying, the police be lying, man. Yes, there's corruption in any and everything. But it's very difficult for an entire police department to fabricate an entire motherfucking like 20-something odd page report. Damn near 30 pages. So they made up the pictures, the surveillance pictures of the motherfucking bitch driving to this, the dude driving to this bitch house, walking up in her house, the drug dealer, Jamarcus Glover, up in her house, back and forth in between her crib, her car, over at the motherfucking trap house, at the dope spot. What's she doing there? If that's her ex-nigga, why they even talking? Why they even talk? She might have still been fucking him. Okay, if she's still fucking him, why she fucking the dope man and not having an expectation of, hey, possibly these motherfuckers will come kicking in my door one day too. Just saying. I want to thank everybody for clicking that donate button. Thank you everybody for clicking that like button. Hey, click the like and subscribe button. We are still trying to get to 10,000 subs. We are on our way. I think I'm right at around 6,200 subs right now and counting. So let's try to finish up this month and get to shit at least 7,000, 8,000 somewhere up in there. We on our way to 7,000 right now. So let's keep on pushing. I appreciate everybody who has donated. Thank you to everybody who's clicked the like button and tuned in. If this is your first time watching, please leave me a comment. I definitely read the comments. So if you got a question or something like that, or even if you want to set up an opportunity to have a discussion with me, to dispute something, you disagree about something that I said, let's sit down, let's have a conversation about it. It's all good. I appreciate everybody for taking the time out to just view my shit. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, and y'all here with me, and I appreciate that. I'm going to close out this show. Again, let me double check, make sure I ain't got no more donations. You can still donate now if you want to. You can go ahead and hit that Cash App. And if you're watching on the replay, Cash App is still up and running. Go ahead and hit it. You can hit the Cash App and you can hit that PayPal. Last person, my man Mike hit me with the 4440. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. That's what's up. Let me see if anybody else hit me on the PayPal side of the game. If not, we gonna get it on up out of here. I'm gonna close out with another song from the Wild Wild Thugs, baby. This is a little different one here. I want y'all to check it out. All right, y'all. It's been great. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. I will talk to y'all later. I think I probably may do a show tomorrow night too. Think so. Shout out to all my mods. Thank you. Shout out to everybody who's over at the United Guns of America. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in and clicking the like button and coming over here. And thank you to everybody that's over here at the Relationship Rehab. Go on over to the United Guns of America. Let's build that channel up as well. I appreciate all of you guys. Y'all have a good night. Peace. And I'm out. Wait, hold on. That is not what I need to do. There we go.
As I walk these streets, I feel you niggas. So
check me out.
My heat to kill you niggas. Father, forgive me.
Round and round we go. And this world goes round and round we go.
This here is called Round and Round.
Round and round we go.
Yes, indeed.
Round and round we go.
Pop said it best like fuck the world. Money over bitches, nigga, fuck them girls. I'm all about my paper and I'm taking it down. Chasing it down, was poison in my cup and I'm tasting it now.
That's my little brother Gio right there.
I was 14 when I started to think, am I ready for weed? Am I ready to bleed? Am I ready to
real talk?
Take care
Gio was the second youngest out of all of us and was the best of us all. He really was.
I'm ready to give you 10.
He was like D'Artagnan, the best of us all.
In the court, stole my setup. Do some shit so they never can forget us. Wild Wild will remain in your memory. Producing hits so you niggas will remember me. It's G.O. I refuse to leave this game alone. And my family say that I ain't been the same at home. a man. And for the fam, Lord, let me get a second chance. As this world go.
Round and round we go.
As this world go.
Round and round we go.
As this world go.
Round and round we go. Round and round we go.
The strongest prison bars, longest prison scars, an OG from the hood slave.
That's my brother Mac Love.
It's like a gangster story. From gangster glory, like the players before me. Big bitches and orgies, money, stacks and stacks. Security with gas, marijuana sacks. Weed tall as sacks. I'm sipping on drink.
That nigga was cold.
Hanging out with the hustlers, making gangster bang. Off the block, I'm quick to bust. Off the block, the Godfathers on my cut coat. Off the top, I'm forever. Wild, nigga fresh out of jail. Hard as hell, you can't kill the God of hell. Contaminated up weed, liquor I need. Take a rail, Hennessy, it don't matter to me. Fuck the police, nigga, they can't keep the peace. Don't you know Mac Love, nigga, run the streets. Woo!
As the world goes. Yeah, buddy. I think I'm up next. Or am I after this person? Let me hear.
I see my man in them the other
This is my cousin Tuck right here.
Banging hard, smoking plenty, hey. Playing dice, drinking fifths of that Hennessy. Dodging the law, I swear to God, they used to be me. I'm glad to see this chick from a nigga's past. We used to talk, she was fine with the fat ass. I went to holler, but I had to take a step back. She had a shorty and a man's name on the tat. Now picture that, I left the hood, then in corner slow. Smoking weed, reminiscing on what I used to know. My little homie up the block, he making hella noise. And I remember when he wanted all my old toys. I think of all of the people I met and all the places I've been. All my enemies now I used to call my kin. It's a trip when you finally see the world's a great big place and you a small ass piece.
Woo! The world's a great big place and you a small ass piece. What?
Every day since we was born, niggas trying to kill us. Every day we writing songs, hope we all fulfill us. Praying to my Lord. Every day to keep me safe, dear God. Please don't let me catch your case as we go round and round and round these blocks. Selling pounds of weed and pounds of rock. We just starving niggas that's trying to eat. Drinking liquor and crying ourselves to sleep. To my niggas that's locked in them cages. And my niggas that die from blocks and gauges. I'm going back to y'all for better, for worse. From blessing to curse, from limo to hearse.
What? What? Tell me I ain't got no bars. Fuck that freestyle shit, nigga. I got some bars now.
I'm trapped in the streets. Sean John's cup with a crease. Packing his heat.
This nigga sound like Tupac, don't he?
Fuck the police. No education, bitch, no peace. I'm trapped in this game. Hustler trying to rap in this thing. One pack of the cane, and I know 2 years back in the bang. I'm packing the gauge and making pipes.
This nigga name was Black Rose, but I'm gonna say it's Tupac.
Told you, dog, these streets gon' test you. I'm with whatever.
See, I did the feat.
Smacking his leather.
We had Tupac feet on
my
our shit,
forever. I knew it was over. We started asking the weather and couldn't get his shit together. The city of blood ain't no fucking pity for thugs or pity for scrubs. My city's where Frank Nitty once was. I'm heavy in this. These niggas rolling Chevys and shit. Mac tears with them 7.11s and kids go deep in the mind. Picture us with a piece of the shine, but that's too much live ride. Niggas picture us dying. I'm lost in the wind, lost in the storm, swept by an earthquake, got hit by a twister, came back and slashed the whole state. Naughty by nature, bumping pimpins, fuck alligators and fuck waiting shit to get greater later.
That nigga sounded like Pop. That nigga name was, what's his name? Black Rose. Nigga sounded like Pop on everything. Yeah, buddy. All right, y'all. I'm out until next time. Peace. And hey, remember, I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And for the United Guns of America, remember, it's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. I love y'all. Peace. Hey! Good show. Good show.